Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I guess, I've just called this PleasantKenobi's Candlekeep Mysteries. Disclaimer, I don't own Candlekeep Mysteries. The TM is Wizards property. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So I am Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Let us know in the comment section below how you found it. Hello, everyone in chat. We're not going to interact hugely with chat today because we've got like just under 4 hours to get through this before Toma is off to walk a dog, see a man about a dog or something. So today we're going to play a one-shot adventure, a quite high level, at level 15 adventure from Candlekeep Mysteries, one of the latest D&D books. Thank you, hashtag preview. I need to actually adjust Rob's window. Everybody freeze, do not move. Rob's window is somehow slid again. Thank you for holding the book up. I should go. Oh no, I shouldn't go grab it, because if I grab it from the other room, I'll have knowledge. So, Wizards of the Coast sent myself and Rob copies of this book, because I asked them, because I want to do some D&D content. If this goes well, we'll be doing some more in the future. I would like to get different guests on as well, but of course, these returning guests and so on and so on. So, let us know again if you enjoy this. We're doing a level 15 adventure. Rob is DMing for us. I'm joined again by Ashlen and Toma. I'll throw over to them to introduce themselves in just a second. Be kind and be nice. So, bear in mind that I am rusty. I was DMing weekly, every week, doing Tomb of Annihilation prior to COVID. I've played once since COVID started, which is about a year now, okay? So I am super rusty. I forgot to take my spells. We just literally clamoured to take my spells before we got started. So I will start. Actually, no, I won't start. I'll go last. Let's throw over to Ashlen. Ashlen, please introduce yourself and let us know who you're playing today.
All right, well, you might hear my cat in the background because she is very excited about us playing some D&D right now. I am playing Justeen Axemight. Hello, everyone, by the way. I am Ashlen-Rose. I am a voice actress, and I play a lot of D&D, but am very rusty as far as playing something as high as level 15, so I am super excited to play something so high level. Justeen Axemight, she is a... what can I say? She is a huge fan of the arcane and all things magic. And she is such a huge fan that she has spent and devoted her entire life to kind of reading all about the great wizards of pretty much all of, all of D&D, all of, what do you call, like, I guess
Faerun is where we are. So, across the multiverse, all the
exactly.
realms.
Spellcasting fandom, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Yes.
From Gandalf to Elminster to Fairy. She loves them all.
She's an S-pop stan.
Yes. And she has she has the posters in her room, and like she has her little shippings that she does of all of them. She is the fan. And so because of that, she has devoted her life and become an Eldritch Knight, so that she can, when she goes to like all the gatherings, she can protect, be up front and be their like little protectors and stuff. She's can be a problematic fan at times, and yeah, that's Justeen Axemight for you, the biggest otaku of wizards, essentially.
Spelltaku,
yes, I love it. Oh my gosh.
So Toma, introduce yourself and tell us who you're playing today.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. My name is Tomer, and I run the Commander section of MTG Goldfish, where you can catch me there. So mtggoldfish.com, go over there to find my stuff. And I am playing a high elf wizard called Locke Soggysmith, the Great and Powerful. This is a wizard who thinks highly of himself. He feels he's destined for greatness, but he just, he never quite made it yet. And he might have had some issues in the past that he's trying to run away from, some disgraces that he would like his name to be redeemed from. And he thinks he's on the path now to find a way to redemption. And it involves acquiring more power. So that's his main motivation here, to acquire power, clear his name, and become the great Locke Soggysmith.
That sounds a little bit evil. Like, just
maintain
power at any cost, greatness at any cost?
No. It's all for benevolent purposes. It's all for the greater good.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Right then, so, okay, if you say so. I'm playing Bridgeon Pendleslop, who is a human chef who's also 5 levels in fighter and 10 levels in bard. But more importantly, he had left the adventuring life behind him a little bit to get a book deal, to do a little bit of a tour, to open a couple of restaurants in Baldur's Gate and along the Sword Coast. But his old friend, is it Soggy Bottom? Toby, what was the surname?
Soggysmith, very close.
Sorry, I was close. His old friend Soggysmith has called him out of retirement and said there's a certain artifact that he's after, so he's made his way back over to Candlekeep to join his old friend and join his old friend's new colleague as such. My character carries, he's a stoutly man. He carries a large, giant's thermos on his back and a huge ladle that is just basically a great club. But yeah, he's a bard who inspires with food and soup. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Food and soup and the aromatherapy of just lovely warm food, cake even. So yeah, that's a bridge on Pendleslop. So Rob, do you wanna take over, Mr. DM? Do you want to introduce yourself first? Oh, we've lost Rob's sound?
He's muted in Discord, it looks like.
What?
Yes, I am.
There we go. First technical difficulty.
Drinking water. Hi, I'm Rob. You probably know me from Vintage Streams, and that's basically it. I've written magic things on occasion, but mostly I'm here to be a dungeon master because that is what I do more than basically anything else. I have DM'd with Vince in the past, back in the days when we did 4th edition, when we first met back at uni days, and I've basically been doing it, forever and ever. So today we're going to tell a story, and it's a story all about stories and about how your personal stories might accidentally end up being just a footnote in somebody else's greater tale. And that really is the takeaway we're gonna draw from this adventure. So I invite you all to come along with us. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I will try and kind of get to them as we go all the way through. And let's basically have a good time as we play Alkazaar's Appendix. So, as noted, we've got a couple of veteran adventurers here. Most notably, Locke Soggysmith, an aspiring wizard of note who has arrived at Candlekeep because he is after a very specific and very powerful magical item known as a nether scroll, and he feels like he's got a bit of might have a lead on this. This lead has actually come from the weebiest of weeb wizards, because Justeen Axemight has known about this particular story for some time in her fascination with famous wizards. The story we're about to explore today comes from a famous adventurer, but they cannot do it alone. So they have hired the great Iron Soup Chef to come down and support the party. And you find yourselves in Candlekeep, having submitted your books of note, one Necronomicon, one best wizard / tales, and one best hangover cures for Faerun, and that you find yourselves in the hearth, sitting around a book known as Alkazaar's Thrilling Tales. Now, this book has been brought to your attention, Locke, by Justeen, because Alkazaar, I'm sure I don't need you guys to know, because you guys obviously know who this guy is.
Of course.
He is a famous adventurer. He is the Thrilling Tales, childhood fireside stories kind of adventurer. So everything of his exploits is well documented, and you've all heard his tales 1,000 times. He's a famous swashbuckling adventurer, best known for his kind of flamboyant open shirts and bare chest and very tight trousers. So if you imagine something that looks like good on a Mills and Boon kind of like title page, is this kind of chap with a mustachioed face and a fabulous hat.
The kind of character you like as a kid, then find out it's incredibly problematic and probably quite racist later in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Never meet your heroes.
Never meet them.
So the thing that is interesting about this book, and as you kind of sit around the hearth examining it, is that Alcazar's Thrilling Tales, again, as I said, everybody knows the stories, but what many people don't know is that there is an appendix to these Thrilling Tales, which is Alcazar's unfinished quest. And Justeen and Locke are of the opinion that by completing his quest, going further than he ever went in his own life, you will be able to get your hands on the power of the Nether Scroll and ensconce yourself as heroes of your own and have weebs of your very own to get excited for you and your many adventures to come. So, as season types, you sit around and you explore the book itself, Alcazar's Appendix. So, where we find ourselves is in the hearth of Candlekeep. It's warm and kind of like dimly lit room. There's a large fireplace. There's lots of people quietly studying, but usually this is sort of a more like the hangout place, that people will go to after they've done a lot of studying. Think kind of New Age university. There's bean bags, and kind of like pinball tables and things like that. You're clustered around the book, which is a slim volume, Alcazar's Appendix, and you begin to read the book, trying to find some kind of secret as to what's going to happen here. So as you pore over the pages, I'd just like you to take some time to describe what your character looks like and literally how interested you are in this particular work. Let's start with Bridgerton.
It's Bridgeon, actually.
Sorry, I'm going to keep calling you Bridgerton.
So as we stroll into this common room, I'm actually a bit surprised at how young and hip it really is with the beanbags and things. I was expecting older adventurers that would know of my culinary delights, perhaps have got reservations at my restaurants in elsewhere on the Sword Coast to come for me for autographs. But instead, it's lots of young people. They don't know who I am.
Yeah, nobody knows you. Yeah, they just look up and they're like, "Why is he carrying a tankard on his back?"
Bridgeon is in his late 40s. He's not the young sprightly 21-year-old that I am. So I stroll over to Locke, who I assume is the person who's poring over this book the most. And I just, I greet him like an old friend. I tap him on the shoulder, and then I go to get some coffee. I'm only here because I've been asked to be here. Grand adventure is not my aim or goal anymore. So I sit my backpack down. I pop my ladle on top because I've only got here half an hour ago. I'm like, I'm going to go get a cup of Joe. Locke or Lavern, do you need a drink?
I just kind of wave at Bridgen and I don't really respond. I'm enraptured with this book. I'm trying to look at every single facet, every single word, and commit it to memory. I am this tall, wiry, elven chap. Also around, he looks like he's in his 40s, but in elven years, that would be many, many more years. He has some grays streaking his hair and his beard. Which is glorious and cannot be beat. No competition there. And yeah, he also had this flamboyant attire to him, this billowing red cape on his shoulders. And he kind of walks in hoping that people will gasp and stare at the great Locke, but nobody pays attention to him, to his dismay. So he meets with Justeen and then immediately goes to the task, and he's fully enraptured to it, and he doesn't really care too much about anything beyond the book.
Yeah, and then Justeen's probably peeking over his shoulder right now. Just probably ooh, yes. And I see that he actually used that the vellum of they were using the vellum of that time period that was really popular and was really a good choice, actually. I believe that Fists and Dauntless also was known to use that style of backing too during that time. It was really, really popular.
Dauntless is overrated, but I will commit this to my mind bank.
You try your best to kind of tune out the twittering behind you, and you absorb the tale of the lost golem. Now, as part of this adventure, the famous billowy-chested, tight of pant, peachy of buttock Alkazaar was searching for a nether scroll, and it was his last adventure before retiring. This adventure took him to the deserts of Anarok, far to the north of Candlekeep, where he came across a wandering stone golem. Alcazar believed that this golem was the legendary Sapphire Sentinel, rumoured to have been created by Netherese wizards to protect the fabled Nether Scroll under the control of a guy called Prince Hamukai. Now, this was based on Alcazar's kind of research and exploration, and it turns out that when he found the golem and mentioned Hamukai's name, the golem responded. And it seemed to very much to Alcazar that the golem was given a purpose and a kind of a goal that was never achieved, and it's been wandering the deserts ever since, trying to reach its goal. With the mention of Hamukai's name, Alcazar was able to harness the power of the golem and strive towards his end quest, which he believed ended at another scroll, whatever that quest may be. It was mentioned in the book that the golem communicated in a curious sign language, which isn't articulated in the book. And Alcazar met with some nomadic people and traveled with them into purple worm territory. He followed their guides until a sandstorm obscured the route. The camels ran off. The tribe, the guides decided purple worm's too dangerous. Sandstorm, bugger this, we're out. And they abandoned Alcazar. And despite heroically trying to carry on alone with the golem, he was forced to call an end to the expedition. But he knew that one day he would return, although he didn't. So he inscribed a magical tracer on the golem. So wherever it may roam across the deserts of Anarok, the hope is that he'll be able to find it again.
Question.
Sorry.
Just a quick
One
question.
more thing.
Oh, go on.
As you get to the end of the tale, which is very much told from Alcazar's perspective, he breaks the fourth wall and implores to the reader to travel to Anarok and find the lost golem and complete that which he was never able to complete, the quest for the Nether Scroll. On the final page of the story, there are cryptic symbols around an illustration of the golem, which immediately pique your interest, and there is something particularly magical about these things, which is very much drawing your attention. As you gather this information, as you consume this data and sort of read out bits of the story, so that everybody is informed about what's going on. Vince, your question.
So this is to the DM and perhaps for some insight, and also asking perhaps my colleagues here, Locke and Lavern, if they know anything better. But what was the actual demise of Alcazar? Like, did he die on this particular quest? That's my first of two questions. Was this how he died? Do we know this? Do we know where he is now?
You can know with a history check.
Oh,
I feel like Justeen.
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I feel like Justeen would probably have a good idea of.
Justeen, I will let you roll this with advantage. A history check with advantage, given your encyclopedic knowledge of these kinds of characters.
For chat's benefit, by the way, I didn't think about how we're going to show dice rolls until about 5 minutes before we started. So we're rolling actual factual dice, and next time I'll have on screen a dice roll from Beyond the D20, okay?
History. You said with advantage, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, good, because that one was a 19. 19 plus 2 is 21.
Okie dokie. So, Alcazar did not die on this quest. He abandoned his quest for the Nether Scroll and returned to Baldur's Gate. And he was basically never going to go adventuring ever again until one day he was called to the seas and went off upon a pirate's life for a little while. And the last thing anybody saw of him was that he was stabbing a sea serpent in the eye as it tried to eat his ship.
Okay.
No one really knows what's happened to him since, but he's been out of the picture for about 100 years.
So as Lavern regales these stories that she's obviously knows about, I am just shaking. Bridget is just shaking his head, and he turns to Locke and says, "This is a lich, isn't it? This is a fake story. These runes are going to lure us in. We're going to get trapped. They're going to suck out our soul. We've seen this time and time again, Locke. We've seen it time and... Do you remember? Do you remember back in... I don't know what time periods are. AC 105? When when we fought that other lich. It was the same thing. It was used to lure us. I'm a little bit wary of this.
Yeah, it's
I jab at the golem.
Dragabaloo.
Yeah,
He was a crafty one, but you know what they say: fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 3 or so more times. I don't know how many liches we fought, but it starts. The onus becomes on us. But fear not, Bridgen, because we have gained experience, and with the power of our group, our dynamic here, your song, your flavor, Justeen's power of the sword or whatever weapons she wields, protecting me as I cast my mighty spells, we shall handle whatever traps are laid out for us. I look at these cryptic signals or the signs at the end here, and I try to glean what their message is.
Okie dokie. Would you like to? Are you gleaning it through just sheer will, or would you like to deploy any kind of magic to?
I will enter my mind mansion and I will cast a mighty spell.
Whilst he's doing so, I'm going to slide some soup in front of him and say, "You should probably eat, Locke. You should probably eat," and give him some bardic inspiration whilst we're at it. So you got an additional. You're just like, yeah.
I realize
it's clam chowder. It's clam chowder with sourdough.
We've had these fights so many times where I refuse the food and he just doesn't shut up until I just eat some. So I grudgingly take one spoonful as I make my hands gestures.
Well, as you're doing it, I feed you with a spoon. You just sip it.
So first I cast detect magic as a ritual, just gleaning to see if there is any magical properties on this book or this cryptical signal, and I just kind of go in there, kind of like weasel it out while slowly eating this soup that Bridgen's just force feeding me.
It's actually a chowder, but okay.
As you perform this ritual, the air around you gains this sort of like kind of arcane kind of presence. And Justeen's hair stands on end as she gets excited for the presence of all things magical. It also draws the attention of the other people in the room, the young students who kind of look up from their bean bags and their personal messaging devices, and are kind of suddenly enthralled by this. Oh my god, this awesome magical power! And you discern from your magic that. This final page holds the key, and what it contains is very, very powerful conjuration magic. To wit, if you were to decipher these mystic runes, it would create a portal to the golem itself, take you from this cozy dorm room style area into God knows where. Wherever that golem might be. It might be under the sea. It's probably in the desert, but it might be under the sea. It might be in a dwarf's yard somewhere. Who knows? But wherever it is, the mark that Alkazaar put on the golem is connected to this book. So if you can crack the code, you can simply travel across time and space to get to where you need to go.
So I'm doing my mind mansion thing, and then all of a sudden my eyes snap open. I'm like, aha, eureka! I have figured it out. This is the key. And I just point.
There's a golf clap in the background of people not really understanding what you're doing.
Not bad. That was pretty. That was pretty fast this time.
Yes, yes. I'm getting a little bit more familiar with my showmanship. But now we just have to figure out how to crack it. It's the key, but now we must figure out how to crack it. How do we crack it?
You can crack it with an Arcana check.
My specialty.
Exactly. As Locke goes through his elaborate hand gestures and kind of whispering of ancient runes, etc., it draws the attention of all the students around.
Do I have advantage?
No. Bridgen, you know from long experience with Locke that all the hand gestures and the mystic words, they don't mean they don't do anything. Like, you can distract him, you know it's all for show, and you sort of have a sort of an eye rolling.
I lean against the bookcase and I'm just snapping off the ends of breadsticks and chewing them, like, completely
none of this-
unfazed and just like, I'll let him do it.
It puts
helps.
me in the mood, all
It
right?
bolsters his attitude, and that's what
It's
I'm
the
here
process.
for, right? Is to make sure my friends are having a good time. So whatever, you know.
So I rolled a 10, but I have plus 10 to Arcana, so 20.
Wow, 20. Success! You
Yes.
realize that placing your fingers upon the runes itself allows you to move them around like some kind of sliding word puzzle. And by assembling the runes in the correct configuration, suddenly the page lights up and a swirling vortex, something not unlike a stargate, suddenly appears in the book. And there's, as you hold your hand over it, there's a slight kind of tension where it's trying to suck you in ever so slightly.
Is this the size of a book, though? We have to climb into the book, like.
Yeah, the book will suck you in, like by whichever appendix
Right.
you put in it first.
I pull out a stick of butter. I'm like, it's a small hole, but I'm sure if we use enough butter, we can get in there.
I believe it's bigger on the inside. Come now, friends. We must journey forward.
I stop. I put a hand over them both. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is there any way to determine exactly where we're going to come out from this? Can you not maybe, I don't know, lick your finger, feel the wind or something? Because we thought it was in Anarok. Do we know much about Anarok?
There's a stone golem there.
Yeah.
I mean, do we need to know more? Alkazaar was there.
Bridge your sense of adventure, man.
I have adventure, but if we're just going to stumble into a desert, I wouldn't mind having, I don't know, a couple of
Greatness
flasks of water.
awaits us.
I sigh loudly. I'm like, fine. Let's go. And I pick
Bring
up
your soups.
I put my rucksack
We'll be
back
fine.
on.
This is happening.
Okay.
Yes,
so
Justeen. Time to await destiny. What?
who is going first?
Try that again.
I'm the one wearing plate mail, right? Are you, Ashlen? How durable are you in terms of like?
I'm in probably plate mail as well.
Okay, I start just rubbing butter on the widest parts of the armor.
Okay, while you're greasing yourself up, Justeen and Locke like jump into the portal with evident enthusiasm, and the students also look at you, kind of lubing yourself up for some kind of like.
I sigh once more. I slam the butter into another man's chest, and I'm like, "Hold on to that, I'll be back," and then just hop in, like feet first.
Could I like quickly? Locke just wants to quickly like make a shimmering mage armor surround him and make it as flamboyant as possible. You know,
Okay,
super
cool.
shiny. Just
Okay.
not for any good reason, just so it glitters a little bit more.
Okay,
You know,
they're
for the
all like,
students who watch.
ooh, shiny. And then you leap in. Bridgen, you go last. The book swirls around and then slams shut, boom, on the desk. And the students were like, did anybody know who that was? That was weird. Oh well. And they take the book, they put it back on the shelf where they found it or where it's supposed to live, and they go back about their lives, completely uninterested in your thrilling adventure. Elsewhere in time and space, it's the desert, and it's hot as hell and full of sand. There are dunes, and you'll find yourself it's a landscape that has not been disturbed in hundreds and hundreds of years. The only people to trail across it are the occasional nomad tribes. Until there is a disturbance in the sand. The book deposits its guests within the range of the golem, but that range is definitely varied. So, Locke, you appear in a sand dune, literally in the sand. There's an explosion of sand being pushed out as your body arrives into it, and you're immediately greeted by clagging, coughing, eyeball-swelling sand. You struggle out of the sand dune and kind of look around blearily as you get a brilliant view of Justeen descending from on high, from about 20 feet up in the air and plummeting straight into the sand. And you wait the
just
third.
watch it.
The third member of your crew lands well greased and buttered, but then the butter then sticks to the sand, and your armor is basically totally ruined now as you scramble in on a somewhat sort of kind of horizontal trajectory and just sort of bounce across the dunes. and you arrive in excruciating heat. The first thing that really hits you is the heat. You know from you're pretty seasoned adventurers, so you know where Anarok is, which is very much in the north of the Sword Coast area, but it is hot as hell. This place is dangerous and it is very magical. This is the place where the ancient cities of Netheril, who took magic way too far and paid the price, this is where their ancient civilization rests.
I was going to ask, do we actually know what a nether scroll is?
Yes.
I stand up, brushing sand off. What actually is a nether scroll? I was too afraid to ask. What is a nether scroll?
So you know by general knowledge what a nether scroll is. So nether scrolls are created by powerful Netherese wizards. They are ancient artifacts that convey incredible power upon the user. By deciphering a nether scroll, you can learn very, very ancient and powerful magic. But what that individual nether scroll does is dependent on the scroll. So, for example, in Baldur's Gate 2, the nether scroll that Edwin finds turns him into a woman for some reason. But they are more powerful than that, generally speaking.
Right.
So you don't know until you get it. But one thing is for sure, they are valuable, they are powerful, and very powerful beings like to get their hands on them. Powerful beings like Locke.
I assume Locke explains this to me, and I'm just like, oh, so we don't even know what it does? I should have known better.
You gather yourself.
Look, I know what it does at the very least, or at least I have a good inkling for it. Just let me take care of the details, Bridgen.
I turn to Lavern, and I don't. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to tell them that.
As these two argue about the presence of nether scrolls, Justine, your eye is caught by a half-submerged figure in the rubble, more or less kind of central to where you guys had all landed. And you make out the shape of a stone golem, kind of like the head and torso. And it's just sort of like half buried in the sand.
Fuck, this one shot's easy.
What do you do?
Justeen's found
Figured it out.
Justine found the golem. I think this adventure is making itself known to us. This will be simple. Justine's gonna let her poke everyone and kind of walk. She's just gonna kind of walk that way and skip and.
Whilst we argue, we just argue over and over as Justine goes to investigate.
Justine, you see that the golem is, like I said, it's half submerged. You can see its upper torso. It is. You've experienced these creatures before. You're a high-level adventurer. You know what a golem is. It's a magical construct man. They come in different flavors. This is a stone version. Usually they do what they're told, essentially, is what they're designed to do. But this one is completely inert. Based on the story that you've read,
it has no purpose.
He doesn't. So, and as you approach it, it doesn't respond to you in any way, and it looks like completely dead for all intents and purposes. What do you do?
All right, well, Justine's going to take a look at it, and then she's going to look over her shoulder and yell for the other two that are fighting. Hey! The stone golem's over here! Will you stop fighting?
We're not fighting, we're just discussing strategy.
Yeah, okay, well, it's here. While you do that, I'm going to solve all this and get the nether scroll, so, yeah. And then I'm going to kind of, I guess, pull out... How big is a stone golem?
This one, judging by the fact that you can only see a portion of it, you would judge it to be about 8 feet tall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm a mere human, so it's much taller than me. So I'm going to at least see if it's on. I'm going to poke it.
Okay.
With my javelin. I have a lightning javelin, so I'm just going to poke it with my javelin.
So, expressing extreme caution, as any smart adventurer would, you prod it and nothing happens.
I go over and I say, "Let me handle this, Justine. I shall use my arcane arts to discern its function." I close my eyes. I do the gestures. I shall cast Detect Magic. Do I do?
Okay.
Do I see the
cast
magic
Detect
in
Magic. The magic is radiating off the golem like crazy because it's a golem. Nothing unsurprising, but golems need stimulus.
Did you just walk up to a broken car and detect metal?
No, you simpleton. It was magic. I was looking for magic. If this was the golem we were looking for, could have been any golem.
Absolutely, and it's not just a mere statue. That much you have definitely discerned.
Yes.
The
That's
golem
it's
itself,
magical.
yeah, you can see, like I said, yeah, it's sort of up to its chest. Its chest area has some kind of like symbol upon it, but it's all sort of mostly buried in the sands currently.
How do do we know how we would reactivate a broken golem? We're level 15, right? This should be in our ballpark, perhaps, our wheelhouse of expertise. How would we reactivate a golem? Even if it's not even necessarily a friendly golem, it could still be hostile. How would we jumpstart it? Do we know this?
Perhaps I shall use my arcane knowledge and roll for such.
If the book said that we needed to, if it didn't have a purpose, do we simply need to give it a purpose?
Or give it its original, remind it of its original purpose.
I open up my notes, which I've been taking diligently, and I say the word Hamukai.
Ah ha ha ha! Jolly good. The lights,
listening skills.
The lights of the golem, so the eyes of the golem suddenly light up, and it pulls itself free of the sand, revealing its full 8 feet glory. It's stone golem. It stands before you. Its design is very much kind of very archaic, kind of like ancient Egyptian style, but it has been weathered by time. It is almost completely smooth. But in the center, you can see that it has a kind of gold, so 8-inch diameter, sort of gold flecked stone disc in the middle of it. It's as you mentioned the name, it stands and very much stands right in front of you in sort of command position and signs at you.
It's doing the weird sign language thing. Maybe I can understand it. I've studied several languages too, and I kind of have a knack for the thing. So maybe. Justeen's gonna try and watch it.
Okay, Justine, make an intelligence check.
Let me see. And I also, if I remember, if I took the feat, let me see, because I have it's a background, I think. Let me see.
Ooh, a background.
Background, because
as Lavern is sort of like watching and having a look and having a think, I lean in and hand her a stick of celery, and I'm like, you should eat. It's hot. It's warm. Perhaps on a less empty stomach, you could be inspired
to
get this right. So you can chew on that celery and have some bardic inspiration, all right? I'm not playing an instrument. For as long as we play this one shot, there's no instruments.
We eat instead.
So now you have a
better eat it.
You now have a stick of celery. It's been peppered with Rakashan salt. I don't know. I'm pulling names out of my house. So now you can add a D6 to your roll if the roll comes out poorly.
Yay! So I got observant, but apparently it's only I can only read lips. Not sign language. That would have been
unfortunately, these lips ain't this
is
moving
the one thing.
All right, so what's the roll?
Inspiration. No, inspiration. Sorry. What was it?
What was the roll for?
Intelligence check, please.
Intelligence. Oh, well, my ant's not that bad. Okay. And you said it was a D6?
No, D20. Oh, but you get
D6 for the bardic inspiration, D20 for the skill check.
Beautiful. All right. Use my fancy dice. Sorry, it's very loud. I'll try to.
Louder the better.
That's part of the charm.
It's a metal dice. So.
Oh, spectacular.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Come on. Plus 2. Okay. We got a 9 plus 2. We got an 11.
Okay. You run through a couple of basic sign languages that you know. You do the from the very basic dwarven sign language, which is mainly just to a bit more complex sign language, but none of it really ascertains none of it connects, and the golem just signs at you in a way that you don't quite understand. But you figure maybe with a bit more time and a bit more exposure, you might be able to figure it out as you go along.
So she's just going to sit there acting like she completely understands everything. She's like, oh, yes. Okay. I'm onto something here. Totally. It's saying, I'm going to need a little bit more time, actually, I think. I'm totally onto this. Just 5 more minutes or so? 20 more minutes? Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
How would 20 minutes of time cause us to start suffering from exposure in this desert?
No.
Okay. You just take all the time you need, I say, as I'm like adjusting my armor and like patting myself down and just drinking
Can
water.
Locke also make an attempt at the sign language?
Sure.
Or is it a group effort?
I'm not going to offer my -1 modifier to this.
Ooh, I got a 20. And then +5. So
Okie dokie.
25.
Being a lot older has served you well, given that this golem is extremely old itself, and you're able to interpret the sign language a little bit better than Justine is able to with her modern sign language techniques.
I believe that an elven scripture taught me this dialect. Yes,
and but the first thing you realize is that you can only communicate with the golem in very basic terms. You can only give it very simple instructions, and the golem has a lot of complex ideas and a lot of sentiments that are a little bit beyond your comprehension. So you can understand each other in a basic level, but not to any higher means than that. The main vibe you are getting from the golem as it kind of looks upon you, almost in a sort of imploring way, is to kind of find out where Hamukai is.
Sorry, it wants to know where Hamukai is, or we?
It wants, that seems to be what it wants to do. It's been reminded of the name, and now he knows that he's got to go and find him. But it's clear from the way that it's signing that it doesn't know.
Oh, so good news. We can talk to the golem, basically. However, it does not know where Hamukai is, which means it's useless to us. We must leave and find it ourselves.
I wandered to the top of the nearest sand dune and just take a look around. Like, can we see civilization from where we're from? Is there a city in the distance or anything?
Absolutely not. You are in the middle of absolutely nowhere. However, from the top of the dunes, the only bit of civilization you can see is coming from a camel, which is currently plodding with extreme slowness up the dunes. Upon the camel is an old man, and leading the camel is a much younger man. You spot them before they spot you. They're sort of like head down, labouring up the dune. What do you do?
I'm gonna crouch down and shimmy down the sand dune and let the others know that we have company. I'm like, Psst, there's a camel and 2 people, but there's a camel with 2 people.
Yes, that makes sense. It is a desert. There are camels in the desert.
But
region.
Isn't it suspicious that they just arrived as the golem came back online?
Should it be? Do they look suspicious?
Rob, did they look suspicious?
They look like they're hard-working, put upon nomad type.
Exactly how a lich would want to look if trying to surprise us. I point a finger at both of them. I'm like, come on, we have to at least be a bit cautious here.
They round the dune and get to the top of the dune, and look down upon you, and they start to talk very excitedly in their desert language.
They crest the hill as I'm going, maybe we should kill them. And then they come up and I'm like, oh, hello there. Do we understand the language? Do you recognize the language? I say we, not me. Does anyone from the party? Because I'm not linguistic.
I speak several, so maybe.
Which languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Undercommon.
No, I speak Giant, I think is my other one.
So I can add Abyssal and Elvish.
Oh, I also speak Deep Speech. I don't know why, but I do.
Are they speaking Abyssal? By chance?
They are not. They are speaking a very a unique version of the common tongue, which is known only to Bedouins. But perhaps a bit of lip reading might be able to help you out here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I am very observant.
Yes.
Make an insight.
Right.
Make an insight check and see if you can discern the language.
All right. You can see language. You can interpret it. You have a +5 bonus. Investigation score. Okay.
I'm not offering you any celery this time. I'm going to save my last bit of celery before our next short rest.
Thank you. All right. That's fine. You said insight? 14.
Okay. You The young lad is very much very enthusiastic. The older man is a bit more stoic, and you approach them, and he starts kind of gabbling away, and you sort of calm him down, and you sort of run through a couple of local regional languages until you hit on a common tongue. You've been to a lot of places in your quest for meeting the highest and most experienced wizards, which has meant that you've got quite a variety of local dialects in your vernacular, and having been to one very gaudy, very desert kind of location, full of lights and music and gambling. A kind of the Vegas of Faerun. You find that there's common tongue there where they travel to these sort of distant locations to trade and things like that. And the kid knows a bit of the same language that you do, and you're able to communicate quite effectively. The old man, however, no idea. But the kid does a good job of deciphering things. He introduces himself as Pesh, and he's very surprised to see you here. He's like, "Cool, blimey, miss, what are you doing here?"
We just wanted to see the desert and, explore. And what are you doing here?
Oh, well, I'm going to run through this accent. It's going to be so bad. I'm just going to do regional. It's going to be fine.
You got this.
No, I'm going to do.
I want to hear more.
West Country all the way. We just came up here to see the old golem because it's been a terrible fascination for me and me granddad. He knows so much about it, and we just came to share some tales. And oh my gosh, is the golem standing for the first time? Oh my lord!
Oh.
He rushes forward and starts to run around and look at the golem and get all very, very excited. The old man kind of looks very stoic and sort of slightly apprehensive of you guys, but if you seem to demonstrate no threat to the kid, he seems to be okay with you.
Yes. So do they all understand? Does the party understand the kid as well?
No, just you.
Okay. So apparently they're big fans of Mr. Golem, Mrs. or Mr. the Golem over here. So it's a big surprise that Golem is moving. And apparently the stoic one knows a lot about it. So we might get some more information out of him but he's not talking to me. I can't understand him.
Can the boy translate for us? Is that a possibility?
Yes, he can.
That's a good idea. I didn't think of that. See, this is why you're with us. You know stuff.
Do they know about the great and powerful Locke?
No.
I mean, I guess I could.
Maybe we could use that.
Ask the kid and his granddad whether they know about. I mean, this might be cutting to the chase a bit too much. We can let him play with the golem in a second, but where Prince Hamilkai is.
Prince Hamilkai. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, Justine will slide up to the boy again, and she'll be like, "So, you know the golem? You come here often to visit the golem?"
Oh, yes, miss. It's very good. My granddad, he tells all the best stories about the golem and about Hamilkai and the ancient civilization and how one day the golem will come to life and he'll go and free his master and together they'll travel off to Elysium together, all pure and lovely.
I thought it was going to say, like, come to life and kill everyone we don't know.
Elysium. Oh, that's amazing. So we've also kind of heard that tale, and we're very shocked to see the golems here. Do you know where? She kind of looks back. That's Hamilkai.
Oh,
Hamilkai.
I can ask Granddad. Yeah. Maybe he will know.
Yeah.
Okay, miss. Just give me one moment. Let me ask Granddad. And he turns around and jabbers away to his senior, who puts a hand on his sword, you notice, and he starts to get a little bit apprehensive in his answer. And the kid turns around and says, "Oh, well, miss, well, the trouble is, nobody really knows where the ancient civilization actually is, because after the city was destroyed about 1,000 years ago, all the what would you call them, refugees or migrants, I guess you could call them, they all headed to somewhere else. And that's where, that's where they ended up. We know that place, but I'm afraid we don't know where the ancient city is or where Hamilkai's grave is. Unfortunately, I'm afraid. I'm terribly sorry, miss. Maybe that's helpful.
Oh, it's so helpful. You have been so helpful. Thank you so much. I'm going to talk to my friends real quick, and, we're just going to, talk about history and magic and stuff, because we're all huge fans and really appreciate everything about Hamilkai and all of those things. So, big fans, huge fans. Let him know. Huge fans and appreciate everything about it.
Can I touch the golem, miss?
Oh, it's not my golem. You can do whatever you need
I'm
to.
like, what if you let the kid touch the golem, but the golem might hurt him? Are we okay with that? And I look around at you both like,
What is my knowledge of golems? Or golems?
Boy can touch the golem.
dangerous?
I'm fine with this.
They can be dangerous, right? They can be violent. They can be protective.
The kid runs his hand up and down the golem's leg, and the golem just sort of looks down, and then looks to you, Locke, as if in kind of
we're in control of the golem, are we?
Oh, I asked. I don't know. I say, golem, don't hurt him.
Okay,
Maybe,
golem,
no violence.
Okay, the golem nods in understanding and lowers its arms.
Imagine if you fumble the translation and it's like, hurt him? Like, bam.
No fumble translations? No, I'm an expert at this.
It's obvious that the grandfather didn't like us asking about like ancient history around here. It's maybe a bit touchy. I don't know what to do with that information, but obviously I observed Rob mentioning the hand on hilt, so
Yeah, and obviously I'm relaying this information at this point. I'm not going to go back and forth, but yes.
Okay. Yes. So the kid says that the people travel to some other location, which they do know about, and that was the last time anybody knew of Hamilkai's ancient civilization and its people. The ancient stories say that basically the golem is destined to return to its master, and take him to Elysium. But where that place might be.
My master is the.
Does Elysium ring a bell? Sorry.
Elysium is like good heaven, basically.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is his master the guy who wrote the book, or is his master the prince?
Master is the prince. So the guy who wrote the book, Alkazaar, is basically in the position that you guys are in now, which is that you found the golem, and where does it lead you?
Right. So we need to find the prince. So
they can take us to the site of where the refugees and stuff ended up. Can the golem move with us? Can we make golem? Does it have functioning legs?
Yes.
Can I tell the golem to follow us?
Why don't we just
Sign
ride on the
language?
golem like a big camel?
I see no reason why you can't do that, despite aside from the fact it might be a little bit uncomfortable because he's very stony.
I mean, I'm going to get some hemp and rope out and make a little hammock, and we can hammock off the back of it.
I mean, I
Conserve our
shake
energy.
my.
Conserve our energy.
The boy turns to you and says, well, the reason why Grandad is ever so nervous is because, well, in order to get to where you need to go through the purple worm lands, and we don't like to go there very much because you get eaten by purple worms.
The fun thing is, I wouldn't mind trying some purple worm meat. You never know what you can find in these places in terms of culinary delicacies. So
the land itself is known as Haroon, and I guess we can take you there for a price, I suppose.
Can you take us to the outskirts, boy? That's all we'll need.
Well, absolutely. I don't think Grandad will want to go much further than that. I mean, he's good with a sword, but his back in what it used to be.
Yeah, and
I
wouldn't know purple worms at this point.
Being compassionate, like we're also all relatively well off and quite privileged as like seasoned adventurers. So I'm like, I know we could offer the kid a couple more strokes to the golem, but we probably should throw him some coin just to get him to, for his services.
A couple more strokes on the golem.
Toma, get your mind out of the gutter. We should throw him some coin. Not that I added any coin to my inventory on D&D Beyond, but I'm assuming we have some coin to our name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
If you're willing to pay him, Grandad suddenly perks up immediately, and a
couple of gold pieces would be enough currency for the average commoner, right?
Yes,
that'd be a handsome reward, right?
Yes.
So
I don't sound too out of touch here.
Look, the
what are commoners like? I don't know.
The celebrity life is treating Bridget Rowe.
How much is a glass of water these days? 2 gold pieces?
So I had a couple of gold pieces, and we should let him escort us. We don't think they're suspicious, do we?
as far as you can tell,
Can we do an insight check to make sure the kid isn't like just complete? Because I'm pretty good at reading people.
Okay, I like your distrust of people, but yes, if you'd like to roll an insight check to discern whether or not this innocent small boy is in fact innocent and small.
It could be a lich using magic. Well,
Oh my goodness.
There are always liches with him.
16.
No.
He looks up at you with big, doe, imploring eyes, and
Just
you
like
can
a lich
see in
would.
his mind's eye, he can see that one day he'll grow up to be a great soup-dwelling, carrying hero like you are, and he is completely honest and completely innocent.
I ruffle his hair and give him a small mug of clam chowder, and I'm like, onwards to Worm Country!
And in that split second, you see the lich flash across your face, but only for a moment.
He flashes a lich-like smile at you.
His tongue is forked like the devil.
Okay, cool. You sign to the golem to follow you, and it does so, and you make your way across the dunes, being led by the old man, whose name you learn is Shamir.
We cut to a
And,
montage of all
with
three of us straddling my giant's thermos with rope as it just drags us like a sled across the sand.
Like a
As
banana
some-
boat. Yes.
Like a banana boat. As some like some music plays that sounds like a desert. I don't know. The music from Super Mario Bros. 3. I don't know.
Okie dokie. As you make your way through the desert, a lot of time passes, many hours pass, and there is the potential for a non-existent random encounter. Cool. So
Yay!
success. Well done. You don't have to waste any time here. As you travel through the sand dunes, you get a chance to to converse and explore the opportunities that are ahead of you, and kind of give you aspirations as to what you would do with a nether scroll if you were to have it, and it were to give you like the ultimate magical power. And this conversation comes around, and I'd like you all to share with each other what you would do if you had the ultimate power. If you could wish for one thing, for example, what would it possibly be? And while you share this piece of very vital information, I will just account for 1 second, but I'll be right back. But by all means, please share your role-playing experience by telling us what you would do if you had one wish.
I can go first. If it gives some people time to think. So, like Bridgeon is very like purified. He may be suspicious of undead spellcasters being everywhere in the shadows, but he does also feel like the reason that people fight wars is because is mainly for survival. So his grand gesture would be to feed the poor, to take the slums of Alkazaar and give those people as much clam chowder as they can fit in their pockets, and just make sure that people don't have to like scrabble to eat and to feed their families. And in many ways, a rising tide rises all ships, right? So that would help all of contemporary Faerunian society just like elevate itself. But I'm having to scrabble for food. Food's great too. He's pretty partial to a little bit of food. But yeah, feeding the poor is generally, it sounds such like a cliched heroic thing, but it's definitely what Bridgeon would do.
This is noble, but what if they don't like clam chowder?
I knew you were going to criticize the noble things, so I assume Locke's goals are a little bit more eternal life.
What if Locke
and
is
a little bit
sick
Lichian?
of clam chowder? I'm just saying. Maybe he's being fed clam chowder for inspiration all this time.
He points a stick of celery at you, and he's like, I try to mix it up, Locke. I hear the complaints, and but I thought you liked chowder.
I did. The 50th time, the 60th time, but, the 100th time, it's a little bit bland, Bridgen.
So what would you do then,
bland.
Locke? If you aren't looking to feed the poor, what would you do?
I'm a simple man, Bridgen. All I want is unlimited arcane power. It's a simple goal, but it's something that I deeply desire. I come from an esteemed family. I went to an academy of the most prestigious wizards, and they've all surpassed me over the years. It pains me to say. They're all epic level wizards traversing the universe. And here I am, a mere washed up wizard casting piddly spells, making things fly, turning things invisible, casting fireballs. I want more, Bridgen. I want more. I want unlimited arcane power. Is that too much to ask?
I think the vulnerability you just showed there is a growth moment for you.
Yes.
What about you,
I just want
Lavern?
my peers to like me.
I think, there's a lot of ways you could go with this. Like any wish in the multiverse, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know, I've like after like thinking and thinking, like I could wish for all the power in the world, but like I don't know, you can get like a little crazy when you get that, or you can get like a little out of hand. They're like, is there a point where like all power is too much power? But I think at the end of the day, I would wish for just to be by Elminster's side, even if it was just an acolyte. I mean, if I could just, maybe be the lover, wife, that would be great too. But just to see and travel with Elminster and watch as he discovers and crafts the spells that are the foundation of some of the greatest things that have come.
I'm glad your aspirations are somewhat realistic and not so grand. That's admirable, I guess.
Yeah, just simple things.
Here, Elminster's a dick. I don't know.
Said like a man who is jealous of a grand, great old wizard.
What
Jesus.
is? He's probably found a nether scroll and now he's acting all high and mighty. Well, once I find this scroll, we'll see who's laughing. See who's laughing.
Okay. You travel on for a few hours. Nighttime comes, you rest. Daytime comes, you walk some more, travel some more, and eventually, Shamir pulls the camel to a halt. And Pesh says, Grandad says we're not going no further than this, I'm afraid. But if you look yonder, out beyond the dunes, you can see the stone outcropping. That is Haroon, or at least, the remains of Haroon after all the, worms and that. That is probably where you need to go, we reckon. But Grandad don't want to go no further, I'm afraid, because after this, the ground starts to shake, something awful. And then worms come and eat you.
Was there anyone who
sounds
survived?
Of the ancient civilization, or of people who go into the worm territory?
Is there anyone in Haroon?
Oh no, it's long abandoned because it's full of worms.
Are there any tricks to bypassing these worms? Perhaps like if you stand still, they don't see you.
Oh, let me ask Grandad. 1 second. And Grandad says a few words, and Pesh says, basically, in order to survive the worms, you need to be faster than them because they'll eat him because you're slower.
Oh.
Quaint. How far is the stone outcropping?
From where you're sitting, it's about a mile.
How scared of these worms are? Like in terms of our prior knowledge of, we've probably fought the occasional worm in our time, right? Is it yellow worms? Did you say?
Purple worms.
Purple worms.
Purple.
Okay. Can I dive into my deep well of previous expertise to perhaps understand how scared we should be of these things?
We don't have to deal with them, Bridget. I have some spells to rectify this situation.
I put a finger to Locke's lips and I'm like, shh. And then I regale him with whatever I know of purple worms. Can I do like a survival check, animal handling check, something like that?
He always does this.
I would say, survival check.
Okay.
I go into my mind, man.
Okay, I've got a nat 20 and a plus 12, so 32.
Okay, cool. You have fought purple worms in the past, mainly in the Underdark, and you know their lairs by the fact that they create perfectly circular tunnels of about 12 feet high. 12 feet across. So you always know you're in a worm tunnel where that, and also the smell. Mostly worms will just eat you immediately. And so there's not a great deal of fighting back against them unless you can fight from inside the stomach very effectively.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I've heard fireballs are bad for digestion.
How many feet are in a mile?
The thing you know most about them, though, which is going to be probably most critical for what you're about to try and undertake, is that they have what's called tremor sense, which is they can sense the vibrations that you make when you move, touch physical things. So if they're under the ground and you're walking, for example, they will know where you are. And that's how they detect their prey and then
Oh.
eat them.
Okay. In which case, we need a flying carpet.
I mean, hello, Master Wizard over here. I got this. First, Justine, Bridgen, let us hold hands.
I begrudgingly hold hands. I stow the baton that I was chewing on and hold hands.
Justine
friendly
happily
then.
takes Locke's hand and
All right, we are going to enter my mind mansion. Close your eyes.
For fuck's sake.
Close your
We're
eyes,
gonna get lost this
Bridgen.
time, are we?
Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed.
All right, and then I like hold up your hands, and I do the motions with your hands being held.
So we're just
And I
doing,
cast-
we're just doing like
We're
the
just
Mexican
swinging our
wave
hands.
thing, like, just like this.
Yeah, just waving your hands around involuntarily. I cast telepathic bond as a ritual spell.
Mm-hmm.
So me and two willing creatures of my choice, being Justine and Bridgen, we are telepathically linked for the next hour. We can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not we have a common language, which you do, and it's possible over any distance, though it can't extend to other planes of existence.
Okay.
Boom, telepathic bond. And
Okay.
then I shall follow that up with that's the third level, that's the fourth level.
Come on, crank it up. I know you've got a good spell for this.
I mean, we could just teleport there, or we could fly, and flying is pretty badass.
Flying is cool. Teleporting is also cool.
I feel
You can
like
make us fly.
I was about to try and animate my bedroll to make a makeshift magical carpet, but if you can just make us fly, that'd be a lot easier than like straddling a bed.
all right. I look at the outcropping.
Yep.
And I look at us, and I'm like, all right, 1 second, snap, and I cast teleport.
Yeah.
Dang, level 15's dope.
Boom.
Okay,
Well, I only have one spell slot, but whatever.
Is it instantaneous? Or is there any channeling to that?
It is instantaneous. You just,
So in combat, you can exit combat with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good to know.
you snap your fingers and teleport. Pesh gasps in surprise and admiration as you just like vanish from his sight. And he's like, "Oh my gosh! Oh, this has been the best day ever, Grandad. Let's go home and eat some cow." And they turn with their pockets laden with gold that you have given them and travel home. You arrive in front of the rock outcropping, and the landscape around you bears, unfortunately, all the scars of purple worm habitation. A complex of caves that has collapsed as a result of the worm's activity, has resulted in what looked to be some kind of habitation is now just basically all collapsed into like one or two actual tunnels. You can see a crack in the face of the cliff, which is where you've teleported right in front of, that looks like an entrance to an undamaged cave. Around it, a few 15-foot diameter rubble-filled holes provide clear evidence of Purple Worm's passage. Vultures circle overhead as if anticipating scraps. So, right in front of you is a cave. It's about 5 foot-ish wide, and it goes into the cliff face itself. Although the cliff, as you can see, as I said, is full of purple worm holes. So,
you know, one thing, probably should have brought the golem with us. We did bring the golem with us, right?
I am going to assume that you teleported the golem with you as well.
Thank you.
Oh,
Because that would have been awkward. I only have one teleport. I can't do that again.
You to the
Can't
desert.
do that again.
Come back, Daddy.
Time to animate that bedroll.
Yeah, whoops.
So you've got cantrips to light up the way, right? We can just light up the way, send the golem in first.
You can
I
like
mean,
the golem.
we
You can
can't lose the golem. I don't want to eat in pro. I sign
I
language
would
to the
rather
golem.
the golem was lost than like one of us to a purple worm. Locke.
Well, I asked the golem if he remembers this area.
The golem says that it does not. But
Freaking
it does.
useless golem.
It mentions to you that its memory is fractured, and again, it recites to you the things it does know, like Hamakai, Need to Go, Elysium, etc., and just runs through all the things.
Oh, hey, Locke. Can you ask it who its favorite wizard is?
Yes. I asked the golem what his favorite wizard is.
It answers Hamukai, greatest wizard prince and lord of all Azumar.
I repeat it.
I genuinely thought Locke was going to like, it's me, by just by
To be
chance.
fair,
it's
I
me.
wasn't alive during this golem's time, and also the owner probably made it have that script in its brain, so that's kind of cheating, I would say.
So build your own fanboy.
Of course.
All
Whatever
right.
you need to tell yourself, Locke.
So there's a bunch of tunnels, or just one cave?
So there's one cave that you can clearly access, and then like higher up in the cliff face, you can see all the holes where the purple worm has done its thing. Worms have done their thing. But ahead of you, you can see this cave mouth about 5 foot wide, and as you approach it, you can see that there's some amount of artifice on the wall, some kind of like stucco decoration, which suggests some kind of civilized activity, rather than just a random hole in the wall.
So those creatures have moved in them, or I say creatures, a civilization, something that lives. Trying to be delicate and polite to these creatures that I haven't met yet.
Okay. I guess we should check that out as I point over to the inscription on the wall.
Okay. The cave mouth itself is completely dark, so you've got the light that is coming from the desert in there, but that will end very, very quickly. So unless you can see in the dark, you're going to need a light source.
Well, I can see, but my human companions lack that ability. So I will again hand gestures, and I only have dancing lights. Well, that's all you're gonna get. I cast dancing lights.
Do you not have like a light something up as like a on command?
Literally, there is a cantrip
create a
called light.
bonfire.
Yeah, you must have cantrips to make light. That's like a simple mage level 1 thing, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is in
not
character. I'm just
necessarily.
mocking Locke. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, how can you not make a
Didn't they
simple
teach you?
light?
Don't any of you know how to cast light?
It's a torch-sized light.
Okay, I'm gonna. Is there any
Flaming
wood around, Rob? Just like dry wood.
No, you're in the desert.
What would?
Dang it! I can create a bonfire.
You have torches in your explorer's kits, etc.
This
So
is
I imagine one of
true.
you is carrying a torch.
Okay,
Alright,
I'm gonna pull out a torch. I'm gonna light it. I'm gonna whip. I don't even know how I manifest this through my bardic power of food, but I waft some soup essence towards my nose and let the torch into the air. And it just floats along up to 6 feet in front of us. I've animated a torch at least for the next like 10, or I can do like 30 minutes worth, just so we can have light ahead of us. I wanna be able to spot if we're in trouble. And I send the torch bobbing along into the dancing, if you will, because it's a dancing object at this point. And I'm like, right, you brought us here, Locke. Let's go. Let's stop mucking about with the stupid bonfire nonsense. Let's go.
Okay, the torch conga lines its way down the corridor, and as you follow it into the cave, you can see that the walls are sculpted and chiseled with chunks of sort of stucco, and some of it is like over the years has crumbled down onto the floor. In addition, all over the floor is long, viscid, rubbery tubes of glistening purple worm dung lie strewn about, giving off a very acrid odour. And as soon as you step into the confined space, you smell the unbelievable stench that is purple worm shit, glistening and fresh and shiny. There are the walls themselves, as you have a look, you can see that there's sort of some very sort of basic kind of decoration, essentially, but they all sort of lead you down the corridor.
So worms live here, but some civilized people also are living here, coexisting with them, maybe?
Judging by the state of the stucco on the walls, it looks like this is the remains of some kind of habitation of some kind. The torch bumps into a pile of rubble, which is blocking the corridor about 40 feet down the way. You can see over the top that the corridor extends, but the pile of rubble is so high you can, even if you scramble to the top, you could barely squeeze through. So you'd have to remove some of it.
How tall is this passageway?
The passageway is 10 feet tall.
Do you have any spells that deal with this, Locke? Or are we going to be moving the rubble by hand?
Do you want to expend my powerful arcane magics to move some rubble, Bridgen?
How tall do you take rolls, Rob?
10 feet.
So could a giant, for example, like move this rubble quite easily?
Potentially, yes.
I'm also quite strong.
Yeah, just a strength check to achieve it. Either you can do it, or you can command the golem to do it, or if you are just quite strong, you could just
You said the purple
So
worms have tremor sense, right?
Sorry, Ashlen, what did you say?
I was gonna say purple worms, though. That was same thing. I was just
Oh, right.
The tremor sense.
Because I gotta crack my feet, knuckles, and get moving. Because I'm like, but then you stop me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a concern.
Can I investigate, see if there's any other path around that maybe we missed around this tunnel?
Sure.
I will roll for investigate.
How big are the purple worms?
Purple worms are usually.
You said it was like 12 by 12, right? So the circumference of them must be.
Oh, yeah.
The circumference of them is about 12 to 15 feet,
Huh.
and they're about 30 feet long.
Lovely.
I got a 24 on investigate.
Okie dokie. You start poking at the walls and tapping away, and as you do so, the whole corridor starts to shake
Oh no!
ominously.
Maybe I
And
shouldn't have poked them.
you start to immediately regret what you were doing, and you take your hands away, and then the shaking dies away.
Locke! What are you doing?
I telepathically say that was probably a mistake. What if I tap it again, though?
No!
You tap it again, and nothing happens for a few seconds, and then there's a tiny rumble, and again, like the walls start to shake, and then it sort of dies away again.
I feel like there's something with this wall. I'm not sure what.
Do you think it could be a purple worm?
I look at like the feces, the fresh feces, and I look at Justeen. I'm like, there could be a correlation here.
Possibly. Justine thinks you're onto something.
So do we
Are you
think...
saying I should
From his
poke the wall
telepathic.
again?
do you think if we move these rocks, we're gonna get purple wormed? I reckon we could take a purple worm. How many fireballs could a purple worm possibly take?
I don't know. When was the last time we fought a purple worm?
It was some years ago, and you were younger then, fitter and faster. So hard to say.
Damn.
With my 35 survival check earlier, would I have a guesstimate on how much HP one of these things would have?
Wait, what if we're just delicate with the rubble? How about that? We just carefully move it without trying to agitate as much as possible.
That is a
We can
thing you
handle
can
that.
do. Yeah, if you do it carefully and slowly, you might be able to avoid.
There's a time
Activity.
concern here, kids. We can't be here all day. Adventurers don't. You've seen Lord of the
You're
Rings.
right.
Don't spend.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Elminster would not let this affect
Yeah,
him.
can you imagine Elminster or Dritz just moving rocks slowly but surely over the course of an hour? That's it.
That's what you do it in a montage.
Am I taking initiative and upsetting the party by moving the rocks?
Go for it.
Okay, I crack my knuckles and I grow to 10 feet tall. I become giant and just start moving the rocks. Like,
Careful,
so
careful.
I've got
I'm like
a-
telepathically saying.
I've got advantage on strength checks. I will do it carefully, but I get advantage on strength checks for strength-based things when I become giant via my...
Okay. Make your strength check. The higher the strength check, the more careful you are.
Okay, it's with advantage, so I've rolled 2. The lower one is a 1, so that's good. The 14 plus 7 is 22. No, 21, sorry, 21.
Okay, cool. You grow to 10 feet tall, and your head kind of scrapes the top of the corridor, and again you hear like a rumbling, but it dies down, and you sort of poise,
Sorry.
and you start to move away some of the bigger rubble, placing it down to the sides. As you get to some of the lower pieces, it starts to trickle and roll down, and again the rumbling occurs, and it reaches fever pitch. The whole building starts to shake to the point where the last bits of the rubble that you move are just collapse on their own because the shaking gets so violent. And you look around, poised and ready to attack wherever this purple one might come from, and then suddenly, nothing.
Okay, in my last minute
That
or so,
was anticlimactic.
I'm going to pick them both up and because I'm like much taller right now, like for my couple of minutes, I pick them up and I put them over the rubble, and then I'm going to step over the rubble cautiously, and like just stop moving rubble and just try and get through the hole without.
Okie dokie.
And you grab the golem. I was like, grab the golem.
I forgot about the golem. I don't think I can lift the golem. I don't know. I become large in size. Rob, can I lift this golem?
Yeah, you can lift the golem. The golem's only 8 feet tall. So you can like lift it up like a child.
Yeah,
a little boy.
So I just carry the. I'll lift it up. I'll hold it onto my shoulder, and I'll just like step over the rubble.
Your dancing torch dances further and into the end of the corridor, where it opens up into a bit of a wider space, about 20 feet wide, revealing a cave that is 50 feet long, 30 feet wide, 20 feet tall. Bats chitter near the ceiling, and the floor reeks of mounds of their guano. Colourful painted frescoes line the walls deeper into the cave. There are a series of frescoes, and immediately as you get in there, the golem kind of pushes past you and starts to kind of examine some of the murals, taking its time over each one, kind of running a hand over them, pausing longer on others than some, but sort of examining these murals. What do you want to do?
Looks like this golem is recognizing the murals. We might be on the right track.
I scoop up some bat poo and put it into a little pouch for seasoning for later. Just try that out.
Mm-hmm. Bat guano, an essential component for casting fireball.
Yes.
There you go. It's also very good for flaming souffle.
Did you want to get any of the purple worm?
No, I considered it, but on the taste test that I did when you weren't looking, it wasn't very good.
That's why I didn't like that. Lovely.
I asked the golem, I signed to the golem if he recognizes his murals and what they are.
The golem nods, and rather than trying to articulate it to you, it gestures and invites you to interpret the murals for yourself.
Okay, I do.
Okay. So each mural is a 10-foot by 10-foot fresco, and has captions written in a strange language. That language is Draconic. Do we have any Draconic readers in the party?
Ooh,
Justeen.
yes.
Fantastic.
Justeen and Locke and Bridget, maybe?
No. Deep speech and giant. For my time down in the deepest of places.
The golem kind of sort of claps its hands together in a sort of an excited gesture and kind of presents the first mural to you, inviting you to look upon it with staggered awe. The first mural shows 3 wizards wearing strange hats. The strangeness of the hats is not been articulated in this, so I'm going to say they are star-shaped hats, using magic to bring to life a stone golem. The stone golem has a bright blue sapphire in its chest. Ancient script labels each wizard, and a large inscription is engraved below the scene. The 3 wizards' names are Abzin, Carlin, and Sharisa. The inscription reads, "Here, the consortium of 3 creates the sapphire sentinel." And the golem kind of points at the mural and then points at itself and is like...
But the golem's chest is missing this gem, right? It's got a golden plate but no gem?
It's got a golden plate, you can't see a gem. But looking at the mural, the gem is definitely... The gem depicts that the mural depicts that the gem might be inside the golem rather than on its outer casing.
I lead into the other 2 and I'm like, what? Do we have a need? Sorry, you were reading the books and I was drinking back in Candlekeep. Do we need this gem?
It looks like it might be important.
Yeah.
From your recollections of the story, Alkazaar never got this far. So he abandoned his quest right at the point, basically the point where you teleported.
Shit wizard.
So this is beyond...
I said out loud in telepathy, just to make sure so Lavern can hear me call. What a shit wizard.
You're very much in the tale now, rather than following the trail. The golem draws your attention to the second mural, which illustrates 3 wizards in star-shaped hats presenting a stone golem to a young man dressed in royal finery. One of the wizards embeds a sapphire shard in the right palm of the young man. Ancient script labels the young man, and a larger inscription is engraved upon the scene below. You read in Draconic, Justeen, here the sapphire sentinel is bound to the wizard prince Hamukai of Azumar. And as the golem is showing you this, it reaches out a hand and touches almost with tender affection upon the image of the boy prince.
Just a quick aside as to something that has been confusing me and must be confusing other people as well. For some reason, Ashlen, I've put your character's name as Lavern. Was that
No. Her character's name is Justeen.
So Rob's been calling you Justeen, I've been calling you Lavern, you've been blanking on it, so I'm pretty sure you haven't registered that I've been doing it, or you've not noticed it's you. And on screen it says Lavern. So for anyone who's watching, wondering who the fuck Lavern is...
That's my middle name that I don't speak of.
Oh, right. And Bridget's just got a habit. From where he's from, it's like a regional thing. We call everyone by our middle names, except for Locke. We just call him arsehole. Anyway, sorry. So I apologise that it's not Justine on the screen. It's only just clicked for me. Carry on, everybody.
No, you're totally fine.
Mural 3 depicts, shows the golem and the prince placing a golden cylinder inside a vault filled with stars. A bright blue beam emerges from the gem in the golem's chest. There's a large inscription engraved below. And Locke, you read this with particular absorption, as it says here, Hamukai's companion, the Sapphire Sentinel, unlocks the Vault of Stars to hide and protect the Nether Scroll. And as the golem on the previous mural stroked his friend with paternal and long-reaching affection, Locke reaches out to the scroll and strokes it in anticipation.
We're getting close.
So close.
The next mural portrays a battle between the young man and with a blue stone embedded in his right palm and a blue dragon and its army of monsters and men. The dragon is wounded in one eye. 3 wizards wearing star-shaped hats accompany the young man. The dragon has blasted the golem with dark magic and is hurled through a crack in the sky. The dragon has a label, and there's an inscription below. Here, the Sapphire Sentinel is destroyed by in the terrible battle against the dragon Zikzorishka.
Easy for you to say.
Dragon names: Zikzorishka.
He'll just be Zizi.
Zizi, who curses Hamukai.
I've written down
and the golem points specifically at where in Draconic it says the words destroyed and shakes its head.
Like it doesn't like or it doesn't happen or
Well, it survived. It wasn't destroyed. We found it in the desert.
Yeah, so presumably it was presumed destroyed. But the golem is sort of banging its chest and demonstrating its solidity.
You protected Hazukai. You didn't let it curse him.
It nods as the picture starts to come together. It leads you to the next mural, which shows the young man being entombed in a sarcophagus, along with the golden cylinder inscribed with symbols. 3 wizards with star-shaped hats cast a spell on the young man, whose eyes are closed. Mourners crowd all around. Small labels identify figures, and there's a larger inscription below. And it reads, "Here Hamukai enters the eternal sleep, to avert the dragon's curse, and is sealed in slumber with the Nether Scroll."
We have 2 problems here, party. Firstly, well, A, we're either going to be grave robbing, which is something that I've always had a problem with adventuring. You know me, Locke. I've said this before. We shouldn't be digging around in these places.
Squeamish.
But secondly,
you won't miss it.
The worst bit here is that it might not be grave robbing, and he might be a lich.
For the last time, Bridget, they're not always liches. If you keep looking for liches, eventually you'll find one.
Years we've been together.
You
How
are
many?
kind of manifesting this need for a lich, you know?
Mark my words, Justine. Mark my words.
Look, it's very clear from these murals that these 3 wizards made a golem, gave the golem to this prince, and then some dragon cursed him or whatever. The point is that a Nether Scroll is entombed with this prince's body. let's go get that nether scroll. That's what we're here for. And I don't think the prince is going to miss it, right? He's dead. We're not. We can use the scroll. He cannot. Fair is fair. We found it. Let's get to it.
How do you know that? How do you know they're
Whoa.
wizards?
Before Bridget can make a counter argument, and Locke, you're prepared for the argument. You turn, but suddenly Bridgerton isn't there anymore, and instead there is just a tube of purpleness as the floor opens up beneath Bridgerton, and he is consumed as a huge worm explodes out of the floor, swallowing Bridgerton and disappearing up into the ceiling. Bridgerton, I assume that 25 hits your armor class.
Let's have a look, because I haven't even looked at my combat stats.
He was looking for liches. He never saw the worm
Let
coming.
me actually put my equipment, my armor on. There we go. Yep, it hits me. My AC for future reference is 18. Okay,
can everybody please roll initiative?
Oh, no.
With advantage or disadvantage, considering we've been shocked up. I got a 6.
I don't even...
hang on. No, sorry. I'm a 10, Rob.
Cool.
I got a 7.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Pretty good start. Pretty good start.
Justine?
Oh my gosh.
I took disadvantage on myself because of how shocked I am. And fun
14.
fact, the other dice was a 20, Rob. See?
14 for Justine. Okay, so you are bitten. So first of all, Vince, take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17 points of piercing damage.
Cool. I'm just check my immunities before we carry on. I don't know why.
And make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. How much damage? Sorry, 17.
Yep.
I'll check my immunities in a moment. For parties benefit, I'm on 82 at the moment now. What is everyone's HP? Just so we can get a gauge of how we are.
139.
Jesus.
92.
Jesus. For levels of warrior, I'm not very tanky, am I?
I'm a tanky tank.
21 dexterity check.
Okie dokie, cool. The worm grabs you in its teeth and kind of rises up to just kind of disappear and starts to burrow its way into the ceiling. You manage to avoid slipping down its throat and find yourself in a very uncomfortable position in the creature's mouth, but also kind of as it kind of is burrowing upwards, you haven't got a lot of headroom to really kind of like maneuver. So you're very much trapped above its head. The other two, Justine and Locke, all you can see basically is now just a 20-foot purple tube about 10 feet across, which is the worm, and your friend is just not there. Justine, your turn.
All right. Well then, that's just great. I'm going to add my weapon now that I have it. Yeah, Justine is going to, and so my friend is gone, right? He was eaten. Hear you.
Rob, can you hear us? Rob?
Hi.
Hello, Rob.
Yeah,
can you hear us?
There you are. Cool.
Our first one of those for the entire session. That's not bad, considering.
All right. I will cast. I'm gonna cast you. What is it? How do invisible barrier, force or absorb elementals or some incoming energy. So there's just like the worm is basically just like burrowed up or down.
Burrowed up, from the bottom up.
From the bottom up. Okay. Okay. I just blast through it. What does booming blade do again? Just weapon used in attack creature on a hit.
We're telepathically linked, right?
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
So I say through the telepathic link, I'm like, can you be careful not to hit me in here, please?
How are you doing there, Bridget?
I've been swallowed by worms before. This isn't the first time, right?
Don't you worry. We're gonna cut you out of here like she tries to like mention some fancy chef cut, but she really knows nothing about cooking, so she's like completely off on it.
Goes on
We're
masonry
gonna
or something.
souffle that purple worm for you.
Yeah,
It'll
we're
be
gonna
fine.
play mignon it.
I appreciate
And-
the effort. Top marks for effort.
And so she's gonna take her javelin, her javelin of lightning, and she is going to. I don't know how to use special attacks yet, so I'm just going to. I'm going to just stab it, I guess.
Frick.
Or use a spell. I'll use Booming Blade. Okay, so you brandish the weapon used in the spell's casting, and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet.
What was your initiative, Ashlen?
14.
14. And mine was 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if the worm is anywhere, but the worm might be between us. I was just going to say, if you wanted to just, and what was yours, Toma?
7.
I was just going to wonder if you wanted to forego whatever you're about to hit it with until, because you can delay your turn till after mine, right? Because I can just,
I feel like the natural reaction would be to just like.
because I can D-door out. That's what I can tell you by telepathy. I'm going to dimension door out of the worm. And that way you don't inadvertently start hitting me as Rob's like, Vince takes X. Vince takes X. That's what I thought.
I can tell you now that is not going to happen because you're in its mouth and Justeen is attacking
right. Go
somewhere
ahead.
in its middle.
Crack on.
All right, so I'm going to use my Booming Blade.
Yep.
And because it's moving, it's going to take so much more damage. It's silly. So yeah, I'm going to Booming Blade it. Let me make sure I have my right equipment equipped. My javelin. Yes. Okay, great. Spells. See if I can do this right. Effect. Yes. Booming Blade. Rolling the dice. So I'm going to do... Oh, do I have to do
Ooh,
an
I saw it. It popped up.
It did on my screen as well.
Yeah.
Do I have to do an attack roll for it, though?
Yes.
That's the only thing I'm on.
Yes.
Okay. So... +9.
So what do Eldritch Knights do then? Do they cast the spells through their weapons? Is that how it works?
Yeah, they're gishes basically. They're fighter wizards.
Yeah. So 16 plus 9, so 25.
So that is a very solid hit.
Yep. So with my Booming Blade, I do 10 damage. Is this
Okey-dokey.
how that works?
You roll your damage. So with the Booming Blade, you deal. So Javelin is 1d6 plus 4, plus Booming Blade is 2d8 thunder.
Oh, so I do my normal damage and then the Booming Blade damage.
Yes.
Got it.
That's quite a lot of damage.
Yes, it is.
We can kill this worm. I'm into it. Come on, let's...
So that's 10 damage from just my Javelin as well. So 20 damage?
Okie dokie. Very nice.
Yes, 20.
Very nice. Okay, and then on the start of your next turn, if the target moves 5 feet or more, it takes 1d8 thunder damage until the spell ends. Oh, attack then becomes sheaths and booming. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, jolly good. Right. You smash that worm. Good job. Bridget, your turn.
Oh, and then I get an extra. You can
Oh,
attack
extra
3
attack.
times.
So you can attack 3 times. Would you like to make 2 other melee attacks just to chunk up some more damage?
Level 14, right? This is what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep smacking.
Yes.
Okay, so you won't get the booming blade on this one, on the other 2,
Great.
but go for it.
Great. Okay, yeah. So I'll just do 2 more attacks here.
Yep.
Bam. Oh, I have to make attack rolls. Those are things.
Yes. Yep.
Sorry.
Hey.
I know how to play this. Oh, that was a natural 1.
Oh no. Okay, cool. You miss.
All right, and let's get rid of you because I can't see. And that was a 2 plus 9, so 11.
That is also a miss.
Ah!
Yeah, your first one hits hard. The other 2 bounce off the scales.
I'm just warming up those shoulders. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is the first fight, you know.
Right, I'm gonna dimension door. Hang on. If I press cast, will it just cast into the chat?
It should
I
just.
don't know.
Trying to press the cast button, it's just giving me the text for it. But Our virtual tabletop not found. It's trying to. Okay, so I need to just tick it off.
Yeah, trying to cap into.
I will figure out how to take it off when it's not my turn, it's someone else's. So I'm going to imagine where I was, because that's how Dimension Door works, right?
Yep.
And by Dimension Door, like, a foot to the right of it. So I pop out, and I'm covered in mucus and shit, and I flick it off, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I get my ladle out, I use my action surge, and I'm just going to twat it twice with my ladle.
Okay.
So I will take those all off my thing as well. So I'm going to now... I say twat it. Yeah, I'm just going to twat it. So, how are you rolling in Beyond, Ashlen?
You just press where it shows the damage. It looks like a little square box, like it says +9.
Okay.
If you hover over it, it does the roll.
Actions. And so I've got a hit roll. So I roll.
Roll to hit. Yep.
Yep, you see that.
22.
Yep.
There we go.
That's a hit.
And then my second attack in the same action.
Mm-hmm.
What's a critical hit then? How do I achieve a critical hit? That's on a 20.
You roll natural 20.
Yeah.
So the first hit was a hit, and then damage for that was a whole 4. Jesus Christ. Cool. What happens if I'm swinging it two-handed? Does that give anything to it?
To a Great Club. I believe Great Club is automatically two-handed, so you won't get anything extra.
Okay, cool. And then we're going to hit again?
Yep.
Cool. Why won't you clear all? Oh, I've got to clear it and then hit it again. No. Okay, this was not as good. It was great the first time. How did you roll a second time, Ashlen? Thrilling content here.
You just press it again.
Mine is not, so I'm just going to revert to good old-fashioned roll on this d20 when I figure it out later. 20 to hit. Okay. Not natural, just 12 plus 8.
That is a hit.
And then... Oh, I didn't get any d8s out because I didn't even know I was a d8 damage. What a fucking noob. Huh! 7 more damage.
Okay.
I'm just going to see if I've got any bonus actions that are actually any good. Yeah, I slide out a mug and I pour out some some more chowder actually into the mug out of my backpack, and I turn it off, and then I throw it up into the air and I pot it over to Tomer, and he catches it offhanded, and he's like, "There you go, chowder. There's your inspiration. You got an inspiration dice. I'll throw one to each person at each turn." So you now have a bardic inspiration. When you use bardic inspiration, by the way, because I'm a very special boy, you now have almost Disney-esque or even anime-esque moat of potential floating around you. So there is there's I don't know, a emoji of a yum floating around you. And if you do an ability check, it allows you to reroll the bardic inspiration. If you do an attack roll, it allows you to do, if the enemy fails a con save, they take damage equals to the number of bardic inspiration die that you've got. And if you do a saving throw, it just gives you a +3 basically. I'll tell you when you do it.
I have no idea what that is.
You've got an emoji floating around you for some reason, and it pops when you use your inspiration die. Okay, I don't understand it. Well, it's all benefits.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Typical wizard, right? Typical wizard doesn't want to let other classes do cool shit.
Locke, your turn.
That's adorable. I love it. How is this worm looking? I kind of peek into the hole. How's it looking?
Yeah, it looks fine. Looks very healthy.
Dang.
Freeze it in place so we can beat it up. Have you got any hold spells?
Fireball doesn't really hold it, does it?
Well, you can fireball it once it's held.
Just fireball it.
You just melt its skin to the
We're just wasting spells. It's going to go straight up the hole and be off if we don't hold it.
Well, what if we just annoy it enough that it goes away? I'm just going to firebolt it.
But I'm getting my kit out ready to carve up some of the meat and stuff
that's a
so we
12.
can cure it.
So how do I add your thing?
You roll a d6.
Yeah.
Add that to the result.
Okay.
Were you doing an attack roll?
Yeah, so I got a 14, and now I rolled a 3 on the d6.
So you add the 3 to it, and your spell will do an additional 3 damage as well if it fails a con save, the worm.
Okay.
17 to hit.
Miss.
Dang.
Oh, it's
I
target.
take a few steps.
So the target just takes the damage. The target in each creature of your choice that was within 5 feet of it must succeed on a con save. So you'll still get to do 3 thunder damage if it fails a con save.
What's the DC on that con save?
16.
Okay, cool. I rolled 20.
Okay, well, I telepathically say to my allies, should we run?
So the fireball just sails past.
I tried one character, but it didn't work. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just shot a little pew pew. I shot a little ray of fire at it, and I missed.
I think we should kill it.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this worm nonsense.
Maybe if you kill this one, it'll warn all the other ones.
And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like limbering up and stretching out my calves and like.
All right. I take a couple steps back from the hole behind Justine and Bridget. I'm like, all right, go for it.
The worm continues its way up through its tunnel, taking 8 points of damage from the booming blade. Good job, Justine.
Nice.
And it arches its way over the ceiling and then descends. So its head is poking out of one hole and its tail is pointing out of the other hole, and it is now just sort of like hanging in the ceiling. The tail lashes out at Justine.
Bring it on.
Does 22 hit your armor class?
Ow. No, don't bring that on. That hits. I have 19.
Okie dokie.
I hope these are
the
high
tail,
rolls because these are pretty good. Go armor is not good for this.
Wait. Does it hit? Sorry.
It does hit.
I forgot I have an ability. Features and traits. Dun dun dun. I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. Portent. I first saw this moment, you see, in my mind's eye, and I have foreseen that this worm that was about to hit Justine actually rolls a 4 instead. Yes.
Okie dokie. Justine, you feel the pierce of the stinger, and then suddenly there's a glitch in the matrix, and suddenly you feel fine, and the stabbing pincer swings past your head, and you feel a bit of temporal flexibility, and you feel awfully rubbery about yourself as time and space bends around Locke's determined will and his prestidigitation.
I'm just doing the motions in the background, like, you know.
Tis
Justine gets starry-eyed.
Let's see how Minster do that.
While you're doing that, you don't notice the mouth descend and try and chomp you. Does 16 hit your armor class, Locke?
Does not.
No, so that's in Locke.
Oh!
Oh my. Well, okay. So I have mage armor on. How much is that?
Mm-hmm. So mage armor.
So 13 plus 4, so 17. I have a 17 armor class.
Okie dokie, cool. The jaw clamps around your magical armor, and you cower inside it as it protects you, as it has done on so many occasions, and you wipe the sweat off your brow. Justine, your turn. The worm is in the ceiling with a tail on one side and a mouth on the other.
All right, so Justine is going to charge her javelin.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to... Yes, Lucy, you're very upset. Justine's actually going to cast her shield. She has lots of life right now. She's gonna... Well, I have lots of spell slots too. I'm not used to having so many spell slots. Yeah, she's gonna cast her shield. So she'll do that, which will give me +5 to my AC.
Yeah, that's a reaction spell. So you do it in response to an attack that I hit you with.
I will do that later. Oh, I could have done that when the thing did the thing, huh? Yeah. Ha. Next time.
Sorry, it's okay.
It's all a learning experience. I'm looking over my spells and I have no idea what half of them do. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like a kid at a candy store. That's okay, because Locke saved me, and I'm just very touched by that. So
I got you.
So I will then. I will booming blade it up again, because why not?
Sure thing.
So yeah, we'll do that thunder damage thunder damage of 5 this time. I don't know what sequencing I should do, so feel free to
Okay, so first of all, let's do your attacks. So
Attacks.
you have 3 attacks per turn. So roll those to hits first.
Okay, and for the javelin, I'm throwing it essentially, right?
You are throwing it.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So
Because
in that case,
I am attuned to it, so it's going to return.
oh, okay, cool. So you can throw it 3 times and it comes back every time.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That sounds cool.
Some niddly shit, just like over and over with the same spear.
Yes.
So roll 3 attacks at +9, and then we'll do the damage after. That's usually the better way to do it, I find.
Perfect. So I'll roll the close that. There we go. So attack number 1. Oh my gosh, why am I crit failing? Shut up. Okay, so that one just is gonna return. Be like, oh, didn't happen.
You menaced the ceiling. Good job.
Ooh. I got a 28 on that one.
That's definitely a hit.
And then on the next one, I got a 14.
That's a miss.
Okay. So I hit with 1.
Yep.
And so I will whisper my magic lightning word command, and that command is going to be what do I want to make my lightning command? I have no idea, so we're just gonna go with sassafras. You just go sassafras.
Sassafras, and the javelin bursts with lightning.
Yes. And yes. So I think the damage for that is different.
Yeah, so that will be with the charge. It's 46 plus 46, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on hit. Target takes 46 lightning damage.
Yes. And I think I could just tell what to roll. D6. There we go. Whee!
Cool. And I have failed my save for the half damage. So yeah, roll full at 46.
Does it tell? Oh, it didn't. Did it tell you how many? There we go. 13.
13. Very nice. Carry the 1. Nice. Okay, cool. And your booming blade is again set up and ready to roll. So if the worm moves again, it will take some damage.
Great.
Cool. Good job. Bridget, your turn.
Right. I'm going to start throwing turnips around in some sort of Disney-esque depiction of spellcasting that uses food, and I'm going to hold monster this thing. So it's a 5th level spell. I think it's an attack/save. Do you make the save or do I make the attack?
So with the hold spell, it's usually you tell me what the DC is and I roll the save.
Yeah, target must succeed a wisdom saving throw, and the DC is 16. Worms can't be very wise, right? Come on,
you've clearly fought worms before because they have a very low wisdom score. Okay, so my total was 2.
Cool. So you're now
So
paralyzed.
I believe I failed.
You're paralyzed for up to a minute as long as I hold concentration, and you can make an attempt on each of your turns to get out of it at the same DC.
Oh, dang.
But a minute is how many rounds is that? 10?
10 turns.
10 turns.
Locke, make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure. I did it. 23.
Success. Fantastic. Being paralyzed and in the ceiling in a tunnel, the worm suddenly loses its ability to grip, and being sort of carrying it as its weight kind of carries its head forward, it drops towards Locke. You leap aside just in time as the worm just crashes down onto the floor.
Bridget, careful!
In a pile.
And as an apology,
Tried to kill me.
I kick a celery over to him, and I'm like, "Have some inspiration."
It takes some damage, and now it's paralyzed in a heap. So yeah, good job, Bridget. Anything else you'd like to do this turn?
I've used my bonus action to throw inspiration to the wizard one more time, so no, I'm good.
Okie dokie. Cool. Locke, your turn. There's a pile of worm in front of you.
Well, hang on, can you do sorry, Rob, rules question. How many bonus actions can you do a turn?
1.
Okay, cool.
All right. Seeing that the worm is now vulnerable, I summon some more powerful magics.
If it's a fireball, can you wait for us to move out of the way?
No. Not something that barbaric. Justine, I shall grant you the power of temporal mastery. Here you go, haste. I cast haste.
What do I get? Fast?
You get +2 bonus to AC. You get advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you gain an additional action on each of your turns. That action can be used only to take the attack action for one weapon attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. So basically, like, you can use another weapon attack.
But if you're of a certain level,
So instead of 3 attacks per turn, you get 4 attacks per turn.
But isn't it a number of attacks per action, right? Because I get 2 attacks per action. So doesn't you attack 6 times?
No, because you only get the extra attack if you make the attack action. So the actions that you take, it doesn't stack up in the way that you think it does.
Yeah, just one extra weapon attack.
Okie dokie. So yes, with the
wild.
That's okay. That's good. Still good. Worm paralyzed, making it saving throw. I'm gonna be here a while, Mr. Worm. Okay, moving on. Justine, you are hastified, and this thing is paralyzed, which means I believe you may make coup de grace.
Yes. All right. So Justine.
I did not need to cast that haste then.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't really. Yeah,
if it had passed its success though, the haste would look baller, right? Because you were like, "See, I knew the future. I
foresee it."
Right.
Incapacitated. Let me just double check this.
I have so many spells.
Because I believe attacks against it automatically crit. I believe is the main thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, have at it with your 4 attacks. You want to roll those attack rolls first.
All right, yeah, I'll just roll them fast.
You attack rolls have advantage, and any attack that hits is a critical hit. So make 4 attacks with advantage.
4 attacks with advantage. Okay, cool. So the first attack, what the heck? So I got a 13 on my first one. Oh wait, do I have inspiration still?
When did I give it to you?
2 turns ago.
Can I give you my inspiration that you just gave me?
Oh, I shouldn't have done it for role playing to say sorry to Locke. I should have.
Can I bequeath my inspiration?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You've got 3 other attacks.
I have so many attacks
with advantage.
I want them all to hit.
All right. So that's my first. Yeah. So I walk up, kind of head held high as I'm doing this. I have like my javelin over my shoulder, by the way, and I kind of like look down on this gum worm. I bring my first one down and kind of missed it, but I'm like, it's okay. They're not watching. And then I'm gonna try again.
We're watching.
It's all about enthusiasm. Just style it out. You'll be fine.
It just seems like talking out loud in her telepathy.
She thinks we can't hear her.
She's totally monologuing this whole thing. 22 on the second one.
Better, yep.
Yes.
22 on the third, or 25 on the third.
That's a hit.
And then we have a 17 on the fourth.
Okay, that's a miss. Cool. So good job. 2 hits. So with critical hits, so let's do it all together. So we'll call it 4d8.
Okay.
Plus 12.
48 plus 12.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, 46 plus 12.
Yeah, 46. You get another weapon. 46. Actually. 3.
Is the worm class as large or very large?
18 plus 12. That's going to be 30, I think?
That's many damages. That is indeed 30.
So you see her miss like the first time, maybe the second time, and then you just kind of see her go.
First you hear the crack of scales, and then you hear the splashing as she gets into the juicy bits.
And I'm like, don't ruin the meat! Don't ruin the meat!
To answer your question, Vince, it is a gargantuan monstrosity.
Okay, I won't grow big and try and wrestle it. That's a bad idea then.
You will not come out on the winning side of that. Bridget, your turn. What are you actually
but bonus action, I do become big, and then I'm just going to hit it twice. I get additional d6 damage on one of them. So I roll with advantage, you said?
Yes.
What was the critical thing you mentioned?
Every attack that you hit is a critical hit. So you do an extra dice damage of all your dice that you roll for damage.
Good. I also, if I kill something with a crit, I get to attack again as a weapon fighting thing. But as we're fighting one big thing, that's not so useful. Wait, the first one is a crit as a natural 20. Do I get another die?
No, so that's just a critical
Double
hit.
crit.
Damn. Okay, so that's 1, and then the second one is 19 plus 8, 26.
That's it.
So 2
Cool.
hits.
2 critical hits. So your club is D8. Plus being big is D6. So you roll 2D8 plus 2D6. Do that twice.
Apparently, it's only on one of my attacks. I was hoping I'd be able to
okay.
them.
So 4D8 and 2D6.
It's like playing Warhammer. I've got all this damage. So 4d8
plus
d6
6.
plus 6. Okay.
Yep.
I need to get a dice trainer cam in this room for this. 10, 18, 20, 28 plus my on hit, which is 28 plus 2 lots of 3, 6. 28 plus 6 is 34.
Whew.
Wow.
This thing being gargantuan probably means it has like 300 HP minimum, but we're getting there.
Okay, cool. Good
So I
job.
am now large for a minute.
Okay. Locke, your turn.
Big if true.
Okay. I will. It can't pass dexterity saving throws because it's paralyzed, right?
Correct. It will automatically fail.
Oh,
Just grease up the ledge and slip it off. Oh, that was a sentence I shouldn't have said out loud.
I'm just gonna firebolt it. That seems fine.
Firebolt or fireball?
Firebolt.
Okay, I'll let you off.
All right, the 30. I think the 30 is gonna hit. Well, I'll roll one more time to see if I crit.
Yeah, it's always good to see go fishing for crits.
But you do crit because it's paralyzed.
Yeah, but you might crit anyway. Crit some more.
But I did crit. You give me
it
anything
crit
extra.
anyway. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you crit anyway. Yeah.
So do I roll 3 times?
3d10. Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. It's a damage rolls. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one was 20 plus 14, so 34 plus 23. What? Does that work? Wow. Okay.
Wait, sorry. You're rolling. So the damage dice is d10, 2d10.
3d10.
The base damage is 3d10
Yeah.
because you're level 15.
Oh, I rolled twice. Sorry, 34. It's 34 total.
Right.
34 damage.
34
Yeah.
damage. Yeah,
So,
okay.
so
I rolled 3
firebolt,
times.
just some learning. Firebolt was 3d6,
Firebolt
No,
is 3d8 at level 15.
and then you're
No,
doubling now. Are you?
it's 3d10.
3d10.
So you rolled
Yeah.
4d10.
No.
So-
So at 11th level, it becomes 3d10, and then I rolled it. I rolled it again because it crit, right?
Yeah,
No,
so
but
you add one of each dice that you roll.
You don't double the number of die. You just add one on.
Oh, you only add one? I thought you double all of
For
them.
each
That's what I
dice that
thought.
you roll, you double.
So 3d10 becomes 60d10.
Yeah. So I rolled twice. So double.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So 34 damage.
You just rolled a little bit low on 6010.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I say low. You rolled distinctly average, I guess. It's probably more accurate.
You roll extra dice for the dice that against it. Roll all the dice damage twice and add them together. So there you go.
Yeah. So 34. I think the average is like 16 or something.
Oh, should I have a 2d6 then, Bob?
5, 11. 16.5 is average. So I got average.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Should I have had an extra d6 of damage from being big then?
Yes, you should have had an extra one.
6.
All right, that's all
That's
I did.
what I rolled, not me just saying the number 6. I actually rolled a 6. There you go.
Okay, cool. Johnny gets a 5, carry the 1, let's say 6. Okay, cool. Have we hit massive damage stress? When damage if you equals to you exceeds your okay, cool. Okay, not death by massive damage just yet because it's got tons of hit points. Jolly good. Right, purple worm, come on,
Jeez.
saving throw.
No.
Failed again. Justine, your turn. I'm gonna run it back.
Justine is going to put away her javelin and take out her great axe.
Oh.
What?
Business time.
She doesn't have time to just poke at this silly worm. She has another scroll to find. So yeah, she's gonna take out her great axe and just chomp down on it now.
What kind of D number is written on the edge of that die, on the edge of that axe? What kind of dice are we talking?
12.
A D12.
You're critting. Just hack it. That's better.
Okay.
Less punctured, more hacked.
So 4 attacks at +10
All right.
with advantage.
Big damage.
So
Let's
if you
see.
roll over 18, it's going to be hits.
Okay, so that one was a 15, so that didn't hit. But I have advantage. Oh, that was a 3. No, it was almost a 19. So that one didn't hit.
Wait.
Okay, so
Yeah. Okay.
she's getting used to the weight of the axe because she's been holding the javelin. Let's see the second hit. Oh, come on. Yes, 23. Yeah, so she's hit. So that one's gonna hit.
Good.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Woo!
So that's nice. So 2 hits. All right, here goes the third attack. Oh, it was almost another natural 20. Here's the advantage on the attack. Nope. So far 2 hits.
And
Final attack. Final attack. I'll roll advantage just to see. Yep. So I got 3 hits.
3 hits. Okay, cool. So damage is 3d12 plus 15.
If it's 3 hits, wouldn't it be 60-12? Because it's critting?
No, because you roll, because each hit is 1d12. So it will be 2d12 for each one. So it's 3d12.
60-12. 3 hits.
60-12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60-12 is that's a sentence I like. 60-12.
60-12 plus
All right,
15.
12. So she's just like, oh my gosh, that's so many dice on the screen.
Yeah.
How much am I adding to that?
15.
So 55 plus 15.
70 big ones. Nice.
70 damage.
We've literally flipped it over and hit it for massive damage. Like,
How's
Yeah,
the
she just, like,
stupid
kicks
worm
it with her
looking now?
Cuts it from the other side.
Is it still looking healthy, Rob?
It definitely is not. In fact, it's looking so unhealthy that you portion it up into bite-sized chunks for ease of eating as you just dismember it, basically, and it's dead.
I just butchered it.
Yep, you did just butcher it.
Fantastic.
Good job.
Wow,
That escalated quickly.
I slide into frame as she's finished hacking it to pieces, and I summon ice with my summon object ability. Open up my magical flask thing that I've got, like start shaving meat off of it and put it on the ice and put it in the sack. And I'm like, gotta save some of this for later. Gotta save some of this for later. That's it. My mission's complete. I'm going back home with some exotic wares.
You don't waste time, do you?
Just
Gotta keep it fresh. You know?
Yeah, don't want it to sour. You know.
All right.
That was the most incredible fight. Like, looking at the damage, it goes 20, 24, 31, 52, 61, 91, 125, 165, 235.
That worm picked the wrong meal.
It certainly did. It regrets everything. With the worm dead, you kind of pick yourselves up, have gathered the worm meat, and you're kind of panting, and you turn and you look at the golem, which is still pointing at a mural, having not done anything or moved at all after the worm just suddenly appeared.
I'm going to hit short rest on my character sheet.
Okay.
I'm going to clean up like some of the purple worm blood from my robes. I cast Prestidigitation to get rid of it. Unsightly.
You take the time to take a short rest here as the golem walks you through the final mural, which shows the destruction and slaughter of a city and an assault by a one-eyed blue dragon and its horde of monsters. The blue dragon stands atop a mastaba, which is a kind of ornate kind of crypt-type building, under which lies a star-filled vault surrounded by a magical aura. The vault holds a young man inside the vault holds a young man inside a sarcophagus. On the left side of the mural, 3 wizards wearing star-shaped hats flee towards a distant series of caves. An inscription below the painting is accompanied by a rough map. The inscription reads, "Here the dragon returns to destroy the city of Azumar and open the tomb of Prince Hamukai, and as the survivors flee to Haruun," which is where you are now, you realize. And the crude map that you can see, and the golem suddenly kind of looks at this and runs a hand over it, points the direction of where you need to go next. Following the map, will presumably lead you to where you need to go next.
Wait, so the blue dragon came here, destroyed the tomb, or got access to the tomb.
Arrived at the city where you need to go next, destroyed there, and then the refugees fled here after the fact.
Oh, but there's no refugees here anymore.
No, because they're long dead. This is a very ancient story.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully this dragon's dead too. I don't want to deal with a dragon on the way to the Nether Scroll. Wait, what if the stupid dragon got the Nether Scroll already? Oh, I'd be so upset.
Looks like we got to kill a dragon then. But let's cross that bridge when we come to it, Locke.
All right. Well, I spent that little time in a trance while we do a little short rest. I use Arcane Recovery to get back my missing.
I have simmered a little bit of purple worm on a little skillet and made it into like what's it when you get like this half cooked the sheets of thin beef at Korean barbecue? What's it called? I've Korean barbecued some worm.
Yes. Yes.
It is called something.
I know what you're talking about.
Worm belly.
It's like a hot pot. Like you have some slivers and you put it on like a quick fire.
Yeah, it's just Korean barbecue. I don't know what they call it, the little.
Well, I've Korean barbecued some pink worm. I'm sure
and it is delicious.
How is it? It's delicious?
I give you some. We have...
Yes.
Vince, make a performance check to see how delicious it really is.
I mean,
Finally, something that isn't chowder. I'm very excited.
Plus 13, so that's a 22.
It's exceptionally tasty. Michelin.
I even do it like I do like fancy like knife work, and I'm just like flipping the meat and everything on my little portable skillet.
You conjure like a beautiful white plate and you decorate it.
Actually, I'm not even touching it. It's like Snow White sort of thing. Yeah.
Animated, yeah.
Justine, this whole time while we're resting, is just going to be like furiously writing down everything, as if she's writing her own story to be documented someday of how she slayed the great with the help of the wizard Locke and the great chef. And now is cooking a glorious feast.
And I hear like telepathically the great wizard Locke.
The okay wizard Locke.
Oh. I telepathically sigh.
And floating. Looking at the map, it seems like where you're headed is basically into the middle of the desert, but you're already in the middle of the desert, so there's no great shakes there. You head out from your from the cave and clamber back through the rubble, safe in the knowledge that any purple worm that's going to turn up now is just going to eat whatever's left of the purple worm that you just killed and also ate. The journey across the desert is uneventful and extremely hot, and given our time concerns at the moment, nothing very much of interest happens besides you get hot and dry. However, you're constantly refreshed by a conjured gazpacho rather than a hot chowder to keep you all cool. You make your way through the desert, crossing the dunes, coming over a short rise until you see the former and now long destroyed and abandoned city of Azumar, which currently now looks like a big empty bowl full of the remains of the tops of buildings. Sand is very much reclaiming its territory here, and the desert is swallowing up the city. There's very little left, and just sort of the shells of buildings as you descend down into the ruined city. In the center, where on your map has appeared to have a large building, instead is an extremely obviously non-natural swirling vortex of sand, creating a dome over the central building, the mastaba. Even as you approach it, Locke, you're like, that's some wizard shit right there. Like when you see it,
I point at everybody like wizard shit. Nailed it.
As you approach, the golem is getting more and more excited, and as you get closer to the center, its kind of pace kind of picks up, and it's almost skipping through the sand as it gets to the swirling vortex. You guys are like sandblasted even at a distance, but the golem doesn't appear to notice, getting right to the threshold and kind of like reaching out and trying to get its hand to kind of go through, but it's clear that there's some kind of impediment there. What do you do?
I turn to Locke and just wait to see if he's got any spells that are going to get us through it. I know that's such a cop out, isn't it? High level kind of wizard dealer.
I go into my mind mansion and I think, and it says like, are you just gonna walk into this magical sand storm thing? Is this our grand plan?
That's a terrible idea. We got to do something else. We can't. So the golem is struggling to get through. Like, is it physically hurting the golem to try and get through it?
I tell the golem to stop. I tell the golem to come back.
Okay, yeah. The golem comes back and shows its hand, and the fingers on its right hand have just like been sandblasted down to like stumps.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. You gotta chill, golem. I sign language. You gotta chill, golem. Okay, so this isn't good.
Do we try fireballing it from a distance and see if we can turn it?
Can we see through it?
Nope, you cannot see through it. It's just a sand.
And it's like, is it surrounding everything, or is it just like a wall of it to get through?
Yeah, it's surrounding the entire building, and it's like a dome beneath the sand.
There might be, maybe there's a secret entrance, but first, I try something that I didn't try before. I say everybody gather around, hand circle again. Hand circle again.
Circle.
Okay, hand circle it is.
But this time I add the golem into the hand circle.
What a good idea.
Does he do
everybody
the
close their
arms?
eyes?
Or does the
Yes,
golem...
we swing the arms.
Swing the arms.
The golem's just not moving rigidly.
Mind mansion. But you're supposed to hold on to it.
Right.
Right. And then I cast the ritual of telepathic bond, but this time including the golem.
It doesn't. Is it not? Someone in the chat said earlier it doesn't use up a slot if you do it as a ritual. Is that right?
It's not. Yeah. It's.
So could you do a
doesn't use
ritual
up
of fireball?
No.
Oh, damn.
Only spells that are designated ritual.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't take up a slot. So I refreshed our telepathic bond. And creatures' intelligence score 2 or less aren't affected, but targets can communicate telepathically whether or not they have a common language.
Oh,
so I try to talk
we
to
can communicate with the golem better now.
Yeah, I try to talk to the golem now and be like, "Hey, buddy, can you hear me?" And its brain.
Instead of words in your head, you all see visual pictures in your head.
Oh.
Like pictograms in an ancient language.
Oh, so didn't really work, but we gave it a shot. Maybe it can understand us a little bit better, though.
What kind of pictures do we see? Like hieroglyphic sort of pictures, or are we talking like a bit?
Yeah, kind of like sort of like pictogram language type stuff. So
I didn't come in and read a book, Bridget says.
So if you know anything about the creation of golems, they're powered by words that are put into their heads. So the way that a golem thinks is in literal words rather than in kind of spoken language. And so anything that it thinks would naturally be just like kind of a series of characters, essentially. The language is unknown to you guys, but when you mention to the golem that it can understand you better, it nods in almost in actual comprehension. So, it can understand you better, but you guys don't necessarily can't really interpret what it's doing as well.
So, my first thought, I don't know if it's a good one, is that we just try and fireball the dome to make it into glass so we can smash through it. Is that too on the nose?
Well, I asked the golem if it knows any way around the sand.
It makes a sign of sort of destroy magic or dispel magic.
Right.
Do you know dispel magic, Locke?
Do I know every single spell,
Ashlen, I keep forgetting your character's name. Justine, right?
Yes, Justeen, you can say Lavern too. It's fine. She can go by.
I can't go back and forth. It's too confusing. So you said you were an Eldritch Knight. Does Justine have other spells bar combat ones? Does she have utility stuff?
No, she does not. She just has her combat, but she does have a deep understanding of spells in general because she studies them profusely. So she could maybe try to think really hard and maybe understand what is doing this and therefore deconstruct it.
As you're doing this, I'm just kind of closed eyes.
I was just wondering if she had if Eldritch Knights had any class features or anything that allowed them to dispel things or anything like that.
I don't think so.
So I've got counter charm spells, but I don't think the sand is charmed.
I could try
Alright.
to charm the sand into just chilling out.
Unfortunately,
Locke has 2
not.
ideas.
Okay, Locke, what are your 2 ideas?
All right, so he tells, so gang, I have 2 methods of perhaps bypassing it.
Okay.
I can summon my 3rd eye, and manifest it in the world, and shoot it through the sand dune to see perhaps there is some way of turning it off from the inside.
Have you ever got sand in your eye, Locke? Have you ever
It's
got
a
sand in
magical
your
eye.
eye?
It would be fine.
I would go.
Secondly.
if an eye
Well,
was
wait,
a
I know-
Pokemon card, it'd be weak to sand. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so
The second idea?
second idea is I make a globe of invulnerability, but there would be a lot. It would be a big spell. It would be pretty huge to use.
The golem looks at you, Locke, and does the dispel magic sign again, but ends it with a question mark.
Like my heart hurts a little bit as I grind my teeth a little bit. I'm like, don't know dispel magic. I know counter spell. I don't know dispel magic.
I can arcane charge and teleport 30 feet, but I kind of combat related.
The danger of doing that is that you don't, you don't know whether if 30 feet will just put you into the sand and just.
We
like,
could all hold hands at Dimension Door and find out it's 100 feet deep, and just like get blasted to pieces.
But I am lucky. I am very lucky.
Yes.
The golem again kind of looks to you and does dispel magic question mark.
So, am I right in thinking you don't even have it in your spell book? If you were to get your book out your bag, Locke, and we were to spend a couple of hours, chilling, you could not even figure this out with the spell book. You don't even have this stuff.
I asked the golem if he knows the spell magic.
Yeah.
It nods.
It what?
He does. Golem knows it.
The golem turns.
Oh, he wasn't
to the
asking you. He was asking, would you like me to? Oh.
The
I have to
golem
admit
turns
my failures before we figure that out.
Character growth.
to the sandstorm and puts a hand on its chest plate, and it opens up to reveal a sapphire within, gleaming and shining. It projects a channel of dispelling force, which creates a tunnel through the sand dunes, through the sandstorm. And the golem kind of extends a hand and points for you to go forth.
We might want to keep a globe of invulnerability in our back pocket for coming back out. Just saying.
That's a good idea.
That's what I'm saying as we wander in. I'm just like, just saying, we might need it to get back out.
Is the golem gonna come with us?
Yes, the golem just going to be once you guys travel on through, and once you get about halfway through, the golem comes in behind you, and the sandstorm starts to close as the golem walks forward. But the effects of the sapphire do enough to protect it. You make your way through the sandstorm maelstrom, and until you reach a stepped pyramid, basically, and on the top is a small door with 2 sort of big iron kind of locks upon it. You make your way up the stairs, and within the building, the sandstorm doesn't really affect you. It's sort of like a safe air space, and the sapphire kind of shuts off, and the golem climbs the stairs with you guys, and you're faced with an iron door with 2 locks on it. What do you do?
I mean, your name is Locke, so.
I was thinking it as well.
Every time. All right, I roll up my sleeves.
The only reason I said it, Justine, is because when you thought it, I heard it. That's the terrible thing.
Was I doing that again?
There's also stuff about Elminster, but I won't say that stuff out loud.
Well, we should check. Is it booby trapped? What's going on with these doors? Probably not, right? They had a big sandstorm outside.
Okay, here's my thoughts though. If there's a sandstorm, it's been put up to protect it, so there may be other things to protect this. It's a tomb. We're about to walk into someone's tomb, right? So I think it would be good if I can't really performatively check it. I'm not inclined towards the booby trap kind of.
Yeah, you spend some time reminiscing over the last time you brought a rogue on an adventure, and the trap that they found, and why you ended up with half a rogue 2 seconds later.
We've got a history of rogues just getting blown up and killed. So, a rogue is good. You push them forward, they find the trap, and then you continue on your way once the trap's been fired off. Right?
I will summon a spectral hand.
A spectral rogue.
Mage Hand.
Okay.
I summon a
mage hand.
spectral floating hand,
Mhm.
and I start like tapping the floor between us and the door, tapping the door. I can put a little bit of pressure on stuff,
Okay.
like up to 10 pounds.
In
The
attempts
door-
just to show Locke up, I also summon a mage hand to show that this isn't the hardest thing in the world to do. And I
make
start
mine
just
glitter.
mine's padding around other parts. And I'm just doing it to try and like get ahead of him, just to wind him up, not because I want to.
Your hands, groping hands, find nothing untoward. What you do realize is that the door itself, for all of its locks and impressive weight, does actually just push open at a glance of Mage Hand, and the doors swing open. Immediately, the hands are electrified with some kind of some lightning-based booby trap, which explodes from a glyph which is carved in the floor on the other side of the door. The glyph flares, and as the lightning is discharged, it sort of goes black and scarred. Its energy spent.
Well, that's good. I remember what happened to poor Thomas, the rogue, from last time. So
Was Thomas the one that got hit with a fireball, or was it the one that got hit by the saw blades?
I think he was the one who was axed in half from the
Right.
axe trap.
Right.
Yeah, he was my favorite rogue. That's a shame.
Yeah. He was better when he was in two pieces. In one piece, should I say.
Yeah, the sequel was not as great.
Yeah. Does it look as if that glyph was dispelled?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Could we do some more detect? Locke, you got detect magic, right? You can detect magic as we walk in, so we can check for any more glyphs as we go.
Closes his eyes. Hand gestures, hand gestures, hand gestures.
I remember
And
why
he
we stopped
casts-
hanging out.
And an invisible magical eye. I cast Arcane Eye. I create an invisible magical eye within range that hovers in the air. I can mentally receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision and dark vision out 30 feet. It can look in every direction, and I can move it up to 30 feet in any direction. No limit to how far away it can move. Just can't leave planes of existence.
Okay. With the arcane eye leading your footsteps, you make your way down into the tomb. At the bottom of the stairs, you see a 30-foot wide, 60-foot long hall lit with blue crystals that are set into the walls and pillars of the room. At the far end, a dais stands before a limestone door inscribed with symbols and glyphs that glow dimly. Framing the door, the crystalline bones of a dragon are embedded in the wall, its wings outstretched.
As
I'm
in
guessing-
the actual factual. Does it look like actual factual dragon-sized bones?
Yes, like a kind of like a motif type thing.
But so
Is it crystallized?
I'm going to do. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Justeen's gonna turn to the golem and kind of be like, "Did you do this? Like, is that you?"
The golem shows no kind of recollection.
I suspect it is. And she'll
So
write
this
it
is like
down.
a room. There's full of blue crystals. There's a big like dragon that's made out of crystal. Is there anything else in the room?
Far end, dais stands for a limestone door inscribed with symbols framing the door. Yeah, so it's like a room that is 20 foot wide and about 60 feet long. 4, 8, 12, so 120 feet long. At the far end of the dais, there's a door. Over the door is the sort of dragon fresco thing. Pillars line the walls left and right, and there's nothing else in the room. So you just need to cross the room and go through the next door.
So a perception check, I guess. Of 14, not the best. Do the bones look like they would have been mounted, or do they look like they're ornately built? Like, how do we perceive these bones?
Okay. They look like a kind of a fresco that's been carved into the wall. And you go up and kind of have a sort of a prod and a touch, and you don't see anything untoward.
Okay. I was getting ready to speak with the dead until I get close. I'm like, oh, it's not actually a. I'm like, oh fuck, it's not even a dragon skeleton. I get like, explicitly like disappointed that I didn't find a dragon skeleton to talk to.
I
Were
mean,
you
this
hoping
is
to get more dragon? Were you hoping to get dragon meat?
Not dragon meat. I just thought the dragon could like speed us along a little bit. I assumed the bones wouldn't have meat on them after all these years. It's more just have a chat with a dragon. It would have been you talking to the dragon, though. I can't even speak Draconic, so.
And
That's fair.
Just as you mentioned that, you hear a hissing voice coming from over the door that says, "I can speed you on your way."
Oh, we do get to talk with a dragon.
It hisses, and it emerges from the wall, climbing out in full skeletal form, glowing blue fires where its eyes should be, and it reaches out with covetous claws towards the golem. What do you do?
I tell
The golem
to-
immediately looks like as freaked out as a golem with no real facial expression looks. So it's sort of leaning back with the hands outstretched.
This thing is looking threatening or like longing?
Very.
Is it like initiative or like we should just I'll be like, wait, stop in Draconic.
Is it speaking common? Is it speaking common?
It speaks Draconic.
Oh, so I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, whoa.
But it understood your what you said and offers a pun in return. At the voice of a draconic voice, it pauses. What would you like to say to this dragon?
And I'd say, who are you, and why are you annoying us? And I tell mentally command the golem to step behind us.
Okay. As the golem backs away, you can see the dragon kind of like its claw kind of reaches out, kind of almost instinctively towards it. It turns and says, "I am Zik Zorishka, and long have I awaited the return of the gemstone.
Okay.
Stand in my way, and you shall fry."
Hear me out, guys.
This is just a spooky ghost.
I think this telepathically to y'all. I think, what if we could just exchange the gemstone for the contents of the casket beyond these doors, and then fuck off and leave this dragon to lord over a now long dead kingdom with no one here? Is there any downside to this?
Toma doesn't get the nether scroll.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I want the nether scroll.
But isn't the nether scroll buried? Don't we think it's buried with the prince?
Yes.
So we asked for all the contents of the prince casket in exchange for giving Dragon Skeleton the gem. Just
Yeah, but isn't he just a spooky ghost? I'll be like, piss off, ghost. What's it gonna do? Like haunt us?
I grip the end of my
Gonna give us
ladle and I'm like, go
nightmares?
on, tell him to piss off. This will be so funny. Go on, go on.
I summon my mage hand
Oh, no.
and I say, "Hey, dragon," and the mage hand just appears, and slowly each other digit just
Oh
goes
no.
away.
Justine is like crumpling in a corner, just shaking her head.
I'm like, yes, yes.
No, what are you doing?
Piss off, dragon. Come on
Oh.
now. What are you gonna do?
Okay, cool. The dragon roars in fury and shouts, "The nether scroll shall be mine!"
Can I? Because I assume he's. I'm at the fucking thing, and it's come out of the wall, and the golem. And everything. Can I just donk it in the leg as all this is happening?
It's
go for it.
it's a ghost.
It's a
Roll
skeleton,
initiative.
isn't it?
Roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Are you saying our diplomacy did not work?
considering I was going for getting battle ready, I feel like rolling this 2 doesn't accurately represent what my character was doing.
I mean, I got a 60. I got 19 total.
As
so
I was
I'm
getting
happy
ready to
with-
donk, can I have advantage?
Yes.
Come on, donk. Oh, 19. 23. There we go.
I got a 16.
Always be ready to be donking. That's my motto.
It's just a spooky ghost. Probably just flop over when
If
we
it's
like
actually an
breathe
undead
on
dragon,
it.
we're just going to die, and then I guess that'll be the end of the session.
Okie dokie.
I don't know. I could do knowledge arcana. Is this like a magical thing that I should fear, or is it
Why didn't you ask that question before you told it to fuck off?
Locke's ego might have gotten to the best of him, and he saw this as an annoying obstacle, and he had to walk through a freaking desert for like a couple of days. He's hot, he's tired, and now this stupid spooky ghost just shows up demanding the golem that we've been dragging along for the entire session. Like, what does this dragon think he is?
Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid.
Phrygian, Bridgen, you
Thank
go first.
you.
Just a quick question, Rob. Obviously, Tony keeps saying it's a spooky ghost, but is it actually a ghost or is it a skeleton?
As you swing your ladle upon it, there's a definite physical clunk.
Okay.
Oh.
How big is the room?
60 foot long. No, 60 feet wide, 120 feet long.
Okay, telepathically, I'm like, just light it up with fireballs. I've got a ring of fire protection, not because of your fireballs. We didn't metagame this, but it's for cooking, right? So I'll take half damage from fireballs. Just fireball it. Anyway, I'm gonna grow to giant size and hit it. That's gonna be my go-to. So I become large. How big am I compared to it now? Is it large as well?
No, it's huge.
Bollocks. Okay. One day I'll get to wrestle something. Right, I grow to a large size. I attack it twice. I've got I'm +8, right? Yeah, I got a 24 and a
Hits.
21.
Hits.
Okay, so that's 2 attacks. That's 2d8. 6 plus 6 is 6. And 1d6 for my size. Plus another 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18.
18 damage. Nicely done. You thwack it.
And I kick a cabbage towards Justine. I'm like, eat your greens! How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your greens? I shout as I kick it over there.
Locke, your turn.
You're inspired now, by the way, Justine.
All right.
Well, thank you.
I'm just more annoyed, so I'm going to quickly glance at this skeleton dragon thing. And I'm going to do knowledge religion. Is that applicable or arcana?
Arcana or religion, both are fine.
All right. I got 15.
Okay, what are you trying to understand?
What is this creature? Is this
Oh,
just
okay,
a
cool.
If you're
spooky
proficient with Arcana, you should do it with advantage, right? If you've got the A next to it, it's with advantage. Are you?
I mean, I proficiency, so add a bonus.
You have expertise, which I think is the bard thing, which allows you to roll advantage.
Yeah, I don't think I have expertise.
You understand the composition. This is not a dead dragon. This is an undead dragon. This is not a skeleton dragon. This is a dragon who has waited thousands of years for another scroll, and in waiting thousands of years, it has assumed lichdom.
God, I was about to say it's a fucking lich. I told you.
in my brain, I'm like,
told
it's a lich!
Suddenly, all the pieces come together, and you're like, oh, fuck.
That fucking book was just luring people here. I told you.
I say telepathically, this might be difficult. We shouldn't hold back. And then I have my little mage hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I cast a spell, chanting. I'm like, bigums. And I cast Bigby's hand.
What does that do?
And it turns this little hand into a large hand of shimmering translucent force in an unoccupied space right beside the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn it into clenched fists with a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And I punch it in the face.
You make a melee spell attack with the hand using your game statistics. On a hit, it takes 4d8 force damage.
Yeah, so I'm going to... I don't know what the hit DC is. Oh, it's plus 12. 16 plus 12, so 28.
That is a hit.
And then 48.
Yes, the dragon is. Dragons aren't often punched in the chin, so it is surprised when it is punched in the chin after 1,000 years of sleeping. And you clock at one.
And I say, piss off, dragon.
What was the damage to me?
15 damage.
15 damage. Very nice.
I'm going to assume I can't hold this. This is me saying to the party. Holding this will be difficult because
15 force damage.
dragons are wise, right? And we're not gonna get a paralyzed dragon thing.
It's not going to happen. Also, it's because of its lichdom. You know that it is immune to charm, exhaustion, frightening, paralyzation, and poison.
Well, it's not that smart because it picked the fight with us, right? Am I right?
I asked Locke, would it be immune to polymorph?
Justine, your turn.
I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Bring out your biggest guns.
Yeah, Justine has
Pow!
her gun still. Justine takes her. Bridgen threw me lettuce, you said?
Yeah,
Yes.
a cabbage, I believe.
Cabbage. Yeah, so she's gonna take a head of cabbage and just.
Okay.
All right.
So some
I guess-
Disney little blue birds flicker around you now, and you have an inspirational like moat of potential.
Oh, lovely. Are all these reactions? How do I do that? A reaction towards the. I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on
Good
myself.
idea.
Nice.
Actually, no, I'm gonna cast it on Locke. Locke is squishy, and Locke helped me earlier. So
I'm stood next to it.
what? Oh, you're standing next.
I just hit it. I'm stood literally next to it right now. You guys are like up the.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so I see Bridget.
You just cast it on Locke. It turns around and like eats me. I'm like, oh.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to run up to it anyway.
You to it at least.
It might be good to put it yourself then if you're run up to it.
But I have a lot of AC. What's your AC?
18.
Oh, okay.
Justine, do it.
But you do have like 50 more HP than me, don't you? I only have 99. I have 92. Sorry, we haven't long rested. I only did one burst.
Okay,
it's fine. I'm gonna give you it here.
Okay, you rush over and you inscribe the protection from evil upon it. While you are protected from evil, attacks against you have disadvantage, and you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Oh, that's pretty
If the
good.
target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed, you can make a new saving throw against the relevant effect.
What level is that?
This is level
Level
1.
That's well good for level 1.
And it's concentrate. It lasts for concentration up to 10 minutes. So
Yes.
she's got to maintain
I
the spell.
got you.
Okay,
All right.
Justine. That was your action. You rush up, cast your spell. Anything else?
I'm going to action surge.
Mm-hmm.
If I can. And so an additional action, and so I'm going to use that to attack.
Go for it. Are you great axing?
Yes, I'm great axing. So, yeah, I'm going to 1. So that's a 28 for the first hit.
That's a
Ooh.
very good hit.
A 12 probably isn't going to do it for the second.
Nope.
And then for the third, a 25.
That is a hit. Good job.
Sweet. So I will roll for those 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
17 damage and plus 10, so 27 damage.
Oh, hey,
Nice.
nicely done. So that is okay, the 1. That is cool. Good start. Good start.
And I'm assuming I can't use my cantrips because I cast protection from good and evil, right?
Yeah, because that's your action. So
Perfect.
cantrips are mostly all actions. Okay, now it is the turn of the dragon. So kicking off in full dragon fashion, it's going to unfurl its wings in grand majesty and roar, displaying its frightening presence. Each character within 120 feet is where the dragon must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute.
Am I immune to frightening from the protection spell?
You are indeed.
Okay,
So you are okay, but you two need to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Oh,
I got a
goodness.
10.
Let's.
Uh-oh.
I got a 13.
13. Okay, cool. Looking at the dragon, you realise that you are nothing but puny, squishy mortals.
That might have been a good time to use your inspiration.
Oh wait, can we? Oh dang it!
Can I inspiration?
Well, no, you haven't got any, Locke. It only lasts for 10 minutes, so...
Ah, dang it. Wait, no. Oh, wait. I still, I have, I could have portented.
Forgot about it.
I forgot about the portent.
You are frightened.
Yeah.
So for 1 minute. So at the end of each of your turns, you can make a saving throw to get over the frightenedness. But in the meantime, all you can do is try and get out of the presence of the dragon.
How good are you guys at saving from this? Like, what are your modifiers? Is it wisdom, is it?
Yeah.
So what are your
I have a
wisdoms?
+7. I have a +7.
0. Okay, I'm going to try and give you advantage on my next turn then. To try and
No,
do it.
I'll be fine. I could just portent out of it, I think.
How long do I have inspiration? Is it just the 1 turn?
No, you haven't for 10 minutes, so you still got it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can.
I'm going to give you advantage, and you're going to have inspiration. You should be able to get out of this fighting. And then if
So
you
I just did my big attack. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, because if you protect yourself after you're out, then we'll both be
Yeah.
immune from it for a while.
No, I don't think. Can I protect both of us? Because it's concentration.
Oh.
Yeah, you cannot protect both.
Oops.
Oh wait, is my concentration broke?
Because you're yes. Oh my god, good point. Yeah.
Do I have to roll?
No.
Do you have to roll to hold it?
Is it gone?
No, because you're frightened, so you can't do anything else but flee, so you can't maintain your concentration.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm lucky too. I have fortune and lucky. I'm so sad.
Okay,
Oh wait, I'm
well,
lucky. Wait, can I use my lucky?
Well, how does lucky work?
It's just whenever we. It's
that a
whenever you
Yeah,
make an
it's a feat.
attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend one, and you choose which die to use. You can choose to spend it after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined.
Oh.
Before the outcome.
sorry
Never
guys.
Mind.
Yeah,
Next,
that's
no,
okay.
we're learning.
We'll learn.
Remember it for when I blast you with lightning. So the protection from evil pops on Bridgen as Justine loses her shit and starts to flee, giving the dragon an ample opportunity to spend the rest of its turn wailing on you, Bridgen.
Let's fucking go.
So attacks 22 versus AC.
Yes.
Okay, so 27 will also hit. And a 22 is also going to hit. Cool, so
You're
that's a
not
bite
supposed to be
and 2
taking.
claws.
I got this. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Come
we're
back,
good.
guys! Come back!
I'm
I
just
like-
front bolting.
Like running for the door.
So much scarier than I expected.
I've got so much soup to give!
I don't remember liches being this awful.
Okay, so Bridgen, take 17 points of piercing damage, and then 8 points of lightning damage from the bite.
So 27
Chomps
and
down
8, did you say?
Yep.
So that's 35.
And then the 2 claw attacks. The first one hits you for 17. And the second hits you for 14.
Yeah, so to 57. And what were those last two?
17 and 14.
17 and 14. So that is 34? 31?
31.
Oh, I'm on 26 HP.
Did we bring health pots?
I've got healing spells. But I've got also help on fighting people. It's all good. It's all good. I got
It's all
plenty of
good.
soup here, kids. Got plenty of
Okay,
soup
Bridgen.
here.
Bridgen, your turn.
Okay. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna. My heal spells are bad. Why are heal spells so bad in 5th ed? What's going on?
Because
Clerics have really good healing spells.
Yeah, and clerics have excellent healing spells.
I literally have. Oh, these are all level 1, aren't they? Like 1d4
Yeah.
plus 3.
That will be. It's just at that level. It's just get people off of 0 and get them back up in the fight. You know.
Fucking hell. Okay. So is second wind an action?
Yes. Bonus action, I believe. Second wind. Oh no, it might be an actual action.
It's a bonus action. Okay. I'm not going to hear it right now. Right, first of all, I take out a mug and I throw it around. There's soup going everywhere. And I'm like, no! We can do this! And because Justine's quite close to me, right?
Yep.
So I splash her with soup. This is my counter charm. So as an action, I can perform this until the end of my turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet can hear me, gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So I'm going to back up the passage about 10 feet to get it onto fucking Locke as well. So you both got advantage on saving throws against charmed and being frightened. Also, I'll give you a second inspiration die. So you have 2 inspiration die now. Not you, Locke, you shit, the other one. Justine. Justine, you have 2 inspiration die, but you're going to use 1 at a time. And then, should I action surge to do something? Because healing is not gonna... Okay, I'm gonna action surge. So that's my action surge for this short rest con. I'll tick that off. Boop. No, that's second wind. Don't do that, Vince. No. Yeah, there we go. I don't think trying to oh, the dragon's gonna be immune to charm, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm just gonna try and polymorph it then. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay.
Okay. So I point my ladle and I'm like, I'm going to turn you into a fucking rabbit, dragon. So you have to make a wisdom save. DC 16.
Okay.
It could fail. I'm not saying it's likely, but it could.
Okay, so I have magic resistance, which means I have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, and wisdom saving throw. Did you say
16.
16? Okay, let's do this. So the first roll was 13 plus 2 is 15. Second roll. $19 plus 2, 21. So close.
I
Oh my
failed
gosh.
to turn it into. Okay, sure.
They're not inspired or anything. Oh, it doesn't
I can't
matter.
inspire myself. It's
Yeah.
the bard's all about buffing other people. So
I
I
can't
need you.
force
That's why we
sense it.
need you both in the fight. Otherwise, I'm just like, here's my soup. I'll just die. Okay, let's.
That was seriously close to success. Unfortunate though. Locke, you are fleeing. You spend your turn rushing for the door, and at the end of your turn, you may make a saving throw with.
Okay, and I have an advantage. Okay, so
Yeah.
1. That's an 11.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be best
Okay,
just
I'm
to
going to use
portent
my
it?
port. I'm
Yeah.
going to just portent it. Yeah. So I'm going to make one of those rolls a 15 plus 7.
Success.
Yay!
You realize that you
Oh
were
my
like,
God,
I
like,
knew there
oh
was going to be a
shit.
dragon here. Why am I even scared?
Yeah, you just piss the stupid skeleton.
Are you able to
Bomb
action
just
surge
like-
now? Are you able to action surge now?
I don't have an action surge.
Doesn't every wait what? I thought no. You
That's a
No,
fighter
no,
thing.
should take
Yeah.
a couple
The
levels of
fighter
fighter
thing.
just to get some HP and an action surge.
Yeah, I wish. All right, I turn around. That's my entire turn, right?
Yep, that is the end of your turn. You do those things. Cool.
So I
Justine.
mentally say maybe we should retreat.
All right. I have to save to see if I stop fleeing. Right?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and do this right this time because I actually have things that help with these issues that I completely missed the first time. So, I'm gonna get a different dice because that dice.
I'll save you if you don't get it because I have one more
Okay.
portent.
And I am inspired.
You are.
So you
Uh-huh.
get to roll 2d20, and if you think the score looks shit, we can
You can add a
add
d6.
d6.
Honestly, like if I don't get out of this, I am like.
And the
just-
d6 is also re-rollable.
I got a natural 20, so I'm good.
Boom! There you go. Okay. You scooch
I
to a hole
save
and
my
think,
credit.
what would Elminster think if you saw me running? No, I must turn and fight.
Yes, for Elminster and my friends probably.
So you can, because you've got an inspiration die, and you just. Oh no! Ignore me.
It's only if you spend the dice.
Only
You
if you
get the
spend it, you get temporary hit points and stuff. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well I'll probably use it when I attack.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
thing. Good idea. Cool. Good job. You're all okay again.
Kind
Fantastic.
of.
Wait, was that my
Um,
turn? Saving
that
from
is-
that?
Yeah. So the end of your turn that happens. Do you spend the rest of the time like going like, oh fuck, run away? Okay. The dragon draws in its breath, a habitual thing, given that it's dead and doesn't have any lungs, and exudes its lightning breath. 90-foot long line with that's 5 feet wide. Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw. So, given the angle that the dragon can get, I'm going to say it's definitely going to aim at Bridgen, and the other one it's going to hit is Locke. So, I need you to dexterity saving throws, please.
Dexterity. Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll this, and if I get bad, I'm gonna use my lucky.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh fuck.
All right, so that was bad. I'm going to use my lucky feature.
What's your portent at the moment?
I have a 15 left.
Because I'm on 26 HP and I've got a 12 total right now.
Okay, you got my portents.
So that's going to be 15 plus 2 is
I
7.
foresee that you dodged left instead of dodging right, and I made sure you dodged right.
You're
You
like-
zigged instead of zagged.
Well, it might
Yeah,
still
you
hit
think
me.
so,
It might still hit me, but you basically shout, look out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you get a 15, and then you add your bonuses to
So
it.
17. Also,
So-
whilst we're talking and Rob's looking at his dice draw, I think you should perhaps telepathically talk to the golem, because it didn't defeat this dragon in the past, so couldn't the golem, like... And it's also got Dispel Magic, so what else could it fire off its fucking gem, right?
Yeah, I tell the golem to help us,
Solar beam the lich or some shit.
to beat the shit out of this dragon.
Even just punching it, it'll be something.
I was not so lucky. I used my lucky feature, but I rolled the exact same. So
Okay.
Aw.
So how is a 17? Do I take half?
No, the DC is higher than that. So you will
Oh shit!
Wow.
Well,
take the
fuck!
full whack. This is many D10s. Okay, so let's see. 3, 7, 15, 24,
Yeah.
24, 25, 30, 48, 49, 49, 50, 51, and 7 is 58 points of lightning damage.
Just a flesh wound.
Oh my
It is but a
god.
scratch.
Maybe the golem has heal. Maybe the golem heals.
So it was 57, did you say?
Yep.
1. So
How does that?
I'm on minus 29.
Oh.
So I'm down. Yeah. So if someone could pop me a health potion to get me back up, so I could
Yep. Those are things. Those
Okay.
are things that
Who's next?
Cool.
we
Tomo,
definitely
you've
have
been
on our
blasted.
characters.
You commanded the golem to help us.
Yes.
You can be more specific in the attacky or defensive-y sort of helping.
Blast the shit out of that dragon.
This one turns out it's like a heal bot and it only has fucking...
Or just a heal, just like help us as best as you think you can. I don't know.
Ask it if it has heal. Locke, ask it if it helps.
Oh, hey, heal us. I don't know. Just freaking do something.
The golem holds up a hand and rays of kind of silvery light play out over the dragon. You identify this Locke as the stone golem's signature spell effect, which is slow. Immediately, the dracolich, which fails both of its saving throws, begins to suddenly kind of move a lot more slowly, a lot more jerkily. On a failed save, target cannot use reactions, its speed is halved, and it cannot make more than one attack on each of its turns. In addition, it can take either an action or a bonus action, but not both, and this effect lasts for 1 minute, and at the end of each of the dragon's turns, it can try and save off the effect. So instead of having 3 attacks per turn plus legendary actions, the dragon now has 1 attack per turn. So the golem has slowed down the dragon. At least for the moment. Bridgen, I need you to stabilize.
Oh, death saving throw, here we go. 17.
Success.
I do say I have a plan. I mentally I have a plan.
You're just getting
I
like
can't hear you.
static coming from Bridgen because he's unconscious.
I say like, how you doing there, bud?
You get delirious, half unconscious, like dreams about lobster and butter and shit.
Okay, Locke, your turn. Let's see this plan.
Okay. So you can't last one. You choose where this shimmers faintly 5 feet and then you just designate cancel so I can enter. Okay. So bear with me here.
Okay.
How long does it? Oh, it takes a minute. Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna cast my magnificent mansion and then hide there, but it takes a minute to cast. so
You should have it. What's it when you hear a spell sequence? So when you're in trouble, you just like pop your belt and be like, "Oh, see you later." Like, oh,
all right. Like I like look around. I'm like, don't have time for you, dragon. And I cast my most powerful spell, Maze, and I banish it. You banish a creature that you can see within range into a labyrinthine demiplane. The target remains there for the duration or until it escapes the maze. So it lasts up to 10 minutes. It can use its action to attempt to escape. When it does so, it makes a 20 intelligence check. If it succeeds, it escapes and the spell ends. And if it was a Minotaur or Garusto demon, it automatically succeeds. Hopefully it's not neither of those things. And then when it ends, it reappears where it was.
I love that. Even low-level fucking minotaurs can get out of the maze easily.
I mean, that's a flavor win. So I cast that freaking spell.
Okay, cool.
There's no save or anything.
No save at all. No, you banish it. And
so I banish it, and then I look at Justine, And I look at Bridget and I'm like, we should bail for now.
I'm currently on the floor unconscious.
I know,
The
so,
golem sees an opportunity, and the crest in its chest opens up, and the sapphire begins to glow, and it makes a beeline for the limestone door. Right, we need to keep this in order though. So the golem is starting to move in that direction. Locke, you've done that. Justeen, what are you doing?
So there's no dragon right now.
No.
Well,
Okay,
it come back at any round though.
Right, great. I'm gonna run over to Bridget and pull out my potion, and I'm going to pour it down his mouth.
Good idea.
How many D of some number?
Let me see. Equipment, or is it just items? Inventory. Potion. It's greater potion, or just potion of healing. So 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Do you have D4 to hand?
Can
you roll it on the system? 1 of the 2.
Yeah, I can roll it on the system.
Oh wait, the golem is running away from us, isn't it?
It's moving. It's not. It's advancing forwards.
I'm like, buddy, where are you going? You have to help us.
I found a D4. 1.
2d4 plus 2.
4 plus 2 is. I get up with 5 HP.
Okay, you feel groggy and slightly barbecued.
So I say, do we keep going forward or do we run out? What do you guys think?
I think we've come this far. We should go and get this fucking scroll.
We're not gonna get here.
Let's
again.
let's keep pushing.
When is?
I don't know when it will come back though, so we gotta move.
Yep. Do you have anything to set up as it comes back? Do you have any grease or any spell ward trap stuff or anything like that? Do you have anything?
Yes.
You do.
I have one more thing to hold it back.
Can you ready it? Could you ready that for when it comes back?
Well, now that Justine is done, now it's the dragon's turn. So I need to do the dragon's.
Can I also?
Can we all
cast a spell or no?
Yeah, sure.
I motion everybody to move to the other side of where the dragon was. Past the hallway.
Hang on, Justine needs to finish her turn first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Good idea. Okay, you do that. You move down the room. The golem is making a beeline for the door, and that is the sealed door. The golem's chest opens to reveal the sapphire heart. Blue light bursts from the gem and kind of shines upon the double doors. But first, DC 20, and I rolled a 16 on my intelligence check. The dragon is still trapped in the maze. So
yes!
The golem reaches the door. The symbols on the doors glow with blue fire, accompanied by a perceptible crackle of and shudder of magical energy. With a groan and the grinding of stone on stone, the doors open for the first time in centuries.
Oh, it's finally happening!
It opens with a kind of a slow majesty that is somewhat juxtaposed by the fact that you have extreme urgency trying to get this done quickly.
Yeah, it's like one of those RP cutscenes, and you're like, come on.
It's so there are more stairs down, and you descend the stairs in haste. The golem kind of going first, and the rest of you following along behind. The dragon makes its second saving throw.
I make a. Do I know if the lich can be able to go through walls, or
it's a dracolich, so you can assume some amount of magical power upon its.
Would its phylactery be in the immediate vicinity, or would it cure phylactery elsewhere?
You have no idea to know that. Given that it's a dragon, it's an intelligent beast, it's probably got it somewhere more secure than just...
The gem isn't its phylactery by some chance, is it? And destroying the golem. Thanks, Val, for telling us. Do I get a turn to pops from heal and stuff? When is my turn?
Yes. So we're going back up to the top now, so now it's your turn.
Okay.
So we go pop here.
Yeah.
Wait, how much damage did I take? I forgot. How much damage did you take?
I took 57, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
So D10 plus... Oh my god. Second wind is awful. I gain 7 HP from second wind. Wow, healing yourself up is difficult if you're not a cleric. That was a bonus action. As my actual actions, I can cast spells. What can I do with a 5th level spell? I can power up. That's a whole spell slot, but all my spells are bad. Oh, 4th level spell. Let's go for 4th level healing word. So...
Ooh, can we tell the golem to close the door behind us?
Mm-hmm.
Healing word is shocking
maybe the
as
freaking
well.
lich can't get through it.
Cure wounds. There we go. So for each level, it's 1d8 plus my thing, right? Oh,
Yep.
so I need to power it up. So if I do a level 4, I get 4d8 plus my bonus. And that way, I'm not actually completely boned. That's my turn. I'm just jogging along with them as I'm like getting my wind back, getting rid of my concussion, and like healing myself up.
Okay. Locke, you creep to a hole, and you're like, hang on a second. Golem, close the door. The golem turns and closes the doors, and you realise that the reason the lich hasn't gotten any further is because it can't pass the threshold, because only the golem can open the door. Now that the door is closed, no matter what happens to the lich, it's stuck there. So you guys are technically safe as long as you're in the vault.
Hey!
Well done. I'm going to give you an inspiration
Hey.
point for that, because that was an inspired piece of deduction.
Thank you.
You descend into
I
a
adjust my
spacious...
monocle.
You descend into a spacious tomb. A spacious tomb holds a sarcophagus made of stone covered in glyphs. Magically glowing stars painted on the stone adorn the ceiling. The west wall bears a beautiful carving of a carving of a beautiful scene of a river and rolling hills inside a stone frame etched in symbols. As the golem enters the room, the river scene kind of starts to glow, and the archway kind of tends to look very much like a portal to some kind of like heavenly future life or afterlife. FYI, Dragon failed to save again. A glyph appears on the golem and illuminates. At the same time, the scene on the western wall starts to come to life. The carved river begins to flow, and the flowering plants by the river take color and start to wave in a gentle breeze. The stone frame looks like a portal to this beautiful place. So it looks like a promised Elysium is ahead.
Where's the sarcophagus? I'll look around.
In the middle of the room.
All right, well.
The stone golem, looks at you expectantly. The sarcophagus is 5 foot tall and covered in netherese incantations that have, preserved the prints.
I asked the golem if he can open the lid.
Okie dokie.
As they're doing that, I'm literally straggling behind a little bit and like cracking out bones and bird marks. And I'm using another...
Applying ointment.
My next turn's worth a thing to cast a 3rd level version of Cure Wounds. Just let you know.
I'm like pretty bloodied and everything, but I'm kind of like enraptured of like the Nether Scroll is right here. We're about to get it. Unlimited magical power.
Well, I'm back up to 61 now, so I can take another Dragon's Breath if we need to. Let's go.
Here we go.
The golem, as you command the golem to open the sarcophagus, the golem turns and sort of shakes its head and signs at you that if the sarcophagus is opened, then his BFF, his lovely Hamukai, who has been in kind of preserved life for thousands of years, will die if the sarcophagus is opened. As it signs this, Justeen, you notice on the wall with the beautifully come alive inscription portal, you see the words written in Draconic: "May Hamukai find his way to Elysium and the eternal rest for his sacrifice."
So does that mean he found his way if he's not here?
He's in the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
The golem indicates that he wants to take the sarcophagus through the portal, and to give his BFF Hamukai his eternal rest that he would like, and says that if the sarcophagus is opened, then Hamukai will die, but you'll get the Nether Scroll.
What if we just go through the portal and then take the Nether Scroll, and then we both win?
Can mortals go to Elysium with no issues?
Mortals cannot go to Elysium. They cannot, because they're not dead.
Does
It's the moral question.
Does your mage hand go through things?
it will not. No.
I place one hand on the sarcophagus and lead in to both of you, and I'm like, look at it this way, right? You can get the Nether Scroll if we like killed you and like lob your corpse through to Elysium, perhaps. But let's be real. If you take the scroll at this point and fuck over the golem and fuck over this ancient prince and take the scroll to get eternal power and all that jazz, are you any better than angry ghost lich that you told to fuck off 10 minutes ago? Less than 2 minutes ago. Like, are you not on a path here, Locke, towards skeletal ghostly bastarddom? Is that where you're going if you're going to make this sort of decision?
Isn't
Speaking
the prince's
which,
soul going to go to Elysium anyway when he dies? Aren't we just speeding up the process for him if we open up the lid? It's an afterlife. He's going to go there anyway.
If I'm
We're
honest,
doing him a favor.
But look, I don't trust you when it comes to matters of faith or religion, right? You're all about like rational
What do you mean?
calculation.
I love religion and the idea.
All right,
of it.
name their first 3 albums then. Like
the A and the B and the C. You know what? This is irrelevant. We came here for another scroll.
I turn to Justeen and I say, honestly, do you think the heroes of old and your favorite heroes would do this?
I mean, Elminster was pretty shady. He was a trickster.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But but I hear what you're saying, Ridgen. And this is a tricky one.
This is what happens when I bring heroes along. They always get me in
Gotta
the
have the
end.
moral high ground.
There is a problem though, right? Is why are we so this scroll is meant to be super powerful. And we talked earlier about, maybe a few hours ago, about how there's a potential to heal the sick or feed the poor or do any number of powerful and important things with this scroll. So why should we let it be buried with the 1% in an afterlife? Where it's going to do what? Sit in his treasures and magical artifacts and shit, and he's dead?
Right.
So part of me wonders is if letting this get buried in this heavenly place that we probably will never see, and most people will probably never see because they haven't got a magical estate to take them there like this guy has. Maybe we could do... And I look at Locke sternly, like, maybe we can do good with this. Maybe this can be used for good.
You're asking me honestly, as someone who's been venturing for many, many years together?
Yeah.
I mean, you would use these for good.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's no telling what power the scroll will hold until you get your hands on it. So.
I mean, it could just change. It could just like change your surname. I don't know.
It could be the greatest fart joke ever written on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I don't know. We actually don't know what this Nether Scroll could do.
Well, okay.
Blank, like Kung Fu Panda.
Here's a question we have to ask the golem then, right?
Yep.
The guy inside the casket is currently alive.
Yes.
So how is he going for the portal if living things can't go through?
Because he's on the brink of death. So, and like, basically the idea is that he is in suspended animation to protect the Nether Scroll, to create the protection. That means that only the golem can get into the chamber. All of that effect is powered by Hamukai, who is keeping it alive while he's on the brink of death, and is keeping it all active. And the golem wants to deliver Hamukai, basically for having done his service and protected the scroll from the dragon, and kind of deliver him on, pass him on as he should do. Until then, he's kept on the brink of death for basically ever.
Counter offer. How about we open the lid, he dies, and then you immediately take him to the portal. And he's in Elysium. There you go.
I don't think it works like that.
It should, though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but not everything works the way it should. The other fear, I'm going back and forth with this quite a lot here, is if we take the scroll is now with us in the mortal realm and we need to protect it against things like this dracolich, for example. I mean, well, if it goes to Elysium, it's probably pretty safe. I imagine they've got quite good security.
That is true. But once the scroll, if you use the scroll, then most of the time it's been used and then it's done. It has no further purpose.
But its purpose is... So again, just to clarify, I say not a magic man here. I say very much culinary expert and mild magic man. It has a very set, specific ability.
Yes.
So we could just crack it open and it just turns one of us into a fish. Like,
Yep.
no, we ship it.
Yeah.
Ship it off.
Justeen's gonna look around the coffin, I think, and just try to get an idea of like how this thing works and like why opening it is going to just kill him.
Okay, so the sarcophagus is maintaining a kind of a life-preserving field within for whatever is inside it. The second you open it, Hamukai will age whatever thousands of years have passed in basically a second and go all kind of Raids of the Lost Ark on you, shrivel and die in a second, and turn to dust.
Do I have a good history? Who's got good history? Does anyone know? I have got bad history, so I'm asking the team here. Prince Hamukai, and this has come from chat a little bit here. We're asking some questions. Was he a dick? Was he a dick in his life? Was he a bit of what was his heritage? What was the heritage like? Terry, what did you get?
Not good. Well, 17.
None of you really understand or kind of can recall this guy from ancient times, but the golem takes you by the hand, Locke, and takes you back through into the antechamber that you rushed through earlier as the dragon was descending, and points out a load of frescoes along the wall. The plaster and paintings are perfectly intact. Scenes include images of Hamukai tending to the welfare of his people and the matters of the city, reading books, falling in love, and cultivating his garden. About halfway along through the descriptions, the paintings depict the entombment of the prince and the spells cast by the wizards of Netheril, sealing the prince in the sarcophagus along with the Nether Scroll, and the return of the dragon who destroys the city, as we've already established. As you get closer, you can see some surprisingly recent events. So there's a beanbag-filled chamber with 3 very easily identifiable characters already carved into the wall, and tells the tale of your journey through the book to meeting the golem and traveling, fighting and defeating the worm, and making your way through the city, vanquishing the dragon in exactly the same way. There's even a little maze over the dragon's head, and you guys arriving at the sarcophagus itself.
Oh fuck! I was going to telepathically tell you this is bullshit. This is all just propaganda, and then it's just explained. Actually, we can see it all happening. Okay.
It has all been foretold. This was all.
He was a good ruler.
Going to happen.
Not all monarchs.
But the
bad,
end,
guess,
end of this story is not determined. As I said, the last fresco on the wall just shows you guys around the sarcophagus deciding what to do.
I pull out a bedroll and I say, "I need a long rest, and then I'll get us out of here." I think you should just keep the stupid sarcophagus and run off. We'll find another scroll.
How do you feel about this, Justine?
Yeah. I don't think it's as much as I would love to acquire what's in it. I don't know the taking. Maybe just the discovery and knowing that we got farther than Alkazaar self. Power in its power. Enough power alone to share those tales.
Maybe the power was the adventure we had along the way.
Shut up. Don't make me regret my decision more than I already do.
Right, let him have it.
I point to the golem like, you owe us.
The golem bows in thanks and pushes the sealed sarcophagus through the portal into Elysium. As you look through the portal, you can see the golem is treading upon lush green grass, and the sarcophagus opens up, and a young boyish prince looks back and waves to you as Solars descend and carry him off. As the scene fades and the sunlight flares, the portal closes, and the magical protections ends, and you find yourselves alone in a sudden cold and empty.
If the magical protection's
Vault.
ended, does that mean the dracolich can come down the stairs?
Yes, it does.
Fuck!
We need to get out of
Ready a
here.
spell. Ready a-
Upstairs, you hear a terrible roar.
Fuck! I ready a wall of force. If the dragon comes down, I'm like, can we get out of here?
Okay. Who's got the best stealth check amongst us? It's not me.
Stealth check?
Yes.
Stealth?
Check.
Not me.
Is it you, Mage Boy?
Are we trying to hide somewhere in the corner from a lich?
I grab you by the arm and I say, "Stop fucking talking," and I turn you invisible.
We have telepathy, by the way.
I know. You're the one like going off on one, not me. I'm trying to be quiet about it. And then I've got one more slot to try and dimension door me and Ashlen past. Cause I can't dimension door 3 people, right? I can dimension door 2 people. Because we're running, right? We're not fighting it now. It didn't go too well the first time. And have you got teleport? Have you got teleport left?
No, I used it to get here.
Right, you're
I
sneaking.
have a teleport.
Oh fuck! There you go. You can sneak past it. We'll dimension door past it, and I hope your stealth check's good. I wink at you, Locke, and I'm like, "See on the other side."
You're literally dying for the stupid ass Fritz.
We're not
Oh
dying.
my
We're not
God.
dying. Me and Ashlen me and Justeen can flicker past it. You can sneak.
What if it doesn't even come down here? Maybe
It definitely is coming down here.
Shit.
Listen, like, what if it doesn't come down? It's like, go on this. We just hear boom, boom.
All right, so we're all invisible now.
No. I can only turn one person invisible. It's you. There you go.
No, I can turn myself invisible. Thanks.
Okay. You now turn. No, but I'm not snaking. I've got a disadvantage on all stealth checks in my current armor. And
Well, I mean, did you say you can cast Wall of Force?
yes,
Okay,
but that's
so,
a temporary measure. It lasts up to
yeah,
10
but it only has to be temporary enough.
I know we have to run past the fucking dragon.
You gotta get past the dragon, and then you might be able to like seal it
I
in the
know.
tomb for long enough for you guys to escape.
All right, I ready in action. I'm just like, we gotta try.
I'm like, I'll see you guys on the outside then. I'm gonna go teleport past it. It's not hard. How fast
All
can
right.
Dracolich run upstairs?
Is it still slow? I don't know. We have to go. We have to move. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I've put you
Okay.
invisible with my
Campfire?
action now, and I'm gonna
Wait.
ready my dimension door.
Wait. I cast Globe of Invulnerable. Oh, I can make us invulnerable.
Ooh.
I have an
Okay,
idea.
I
I have an
Sonic
idea.
stop. You know when he look at his legs. I stop. I'm like, hold up.
Everybody huddle up. One more trick up my sleeve. I cast Globe of Invulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to run past this lich, and then I'm going to ready in action to cast Wall of Force as we get past them.
How does the old worker is big enough for 3 of us?
Okay, so you create an
Yes.
immobile, faintly shimmering barrier.
Immobile.
10-foot
Wait.
radius around you.
Oh, it's immobile. Never mind. Shit. Okay. This is fine.
As
it's fine.
you're doing the hand gestures and stuff, and we can't see because you're visible, I'm telepathically saying to Justine, at least we can't see him now.
All right. I don't do that. We just go. We're invisible. I cast invisibility on myself, and let's just try to get back.
Justine, hang on, no, you're already
What?
invisible, Toma. Don't cast it on yourself.
Oh, okay. I have Misty Step, so I can actually teleport
Oh,
as
so
well.
we have TPs. Okay, we're good.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to ready the bonus action to TP to dimension door past him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready an action to Misty Step past him, and I'm going to try cast that as a bonus action. I'm gonna immediately cast Wall of Force as soon as I can.
Okay, cool. So the dragon squeezes through the stairs and crashes down, destroying all the beautiful frescoes and things. Eyes of hate and malice as it screams its demands for the Nether Scroll. As it comes into view, you can see the stairs escaping just behind its legs, and you cast your spells. Misty Step happens. Dimension
Misty-
Door happens. You end
Yep.
up on the other
Misty
side.
Step as well.
Well, I can.
Okay.
What's the range on Misty Step? How far can you go?
30.
30 feet, which is plenty.
Oh,
It's
unlucky. Dimension door's 500 feet, so I'm going to appear at the entrance,
Oh.
and I'll meet you there. So I'm
Right.
saying, woo! Doctor Strange! I was in a lock. Doctor Strange, baby!
Well, Justine ain't gonna let Locke try to get through all this alone, so Justine's gonna go with Locke.
Oh, hang
Sure,
on.
I go-
I can take one person with me. I can take one person with me.
So take Justine, I guess.
So I take Justine. I'm like, Locke,
Really, Locke?
see you in a moment. I'm like, whee!
Really?
I don't know. I want you to be safe. I don't know.
That's
Okay, Locke,
almost heroic.
you misty step to the other side. You turn, the dragon turns, and you throw up your wall of force, which covers off the entire area, cutting off the dragon from the outside world. So
And I can hold it for 10 minutes.
you can hold it for 10 minutes. So let's just a quick review of wall of force. Panel, yada yada. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and cannot be dispelled. Bugger. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly, however, and the wall extends to the ethereal plane. So bugger again. Okay, cool. Good job. You turn and run.
Well, first I flip at the bird one more time.
Okay, you flip at the bird one more time.
Just giving it more time to like counter the spell or something.
Yeah, that's a free action.
You run back up the stairs, and as you do, the dragon starts smashing around downstairs in the crypt, which causes the ceiling to quake and rumble, and rubble falls down on the stairs. Make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. 17. Yeah, I'll do a 17.
You avoid the rubble as it descends down upon you, and you hightail it out of the crypt. Had you got 15 or lower, you would have been buried under that rubble. And it would have been made it difficult to maintain your concentration. But you don't. You flee and escape from the clutches of the dracolich, which howls in fury, impotent fury in the end, and is in danger of burying itself in its fury. You escape to the top of the crypt, and you can see that the protective sandstorm has completely disappeared, giving you nothing but open sky and desert beyond. You have just under 10 minutes to get out of the dragon's kind of clutches.
Easy. I have one more spell then. I cast with my last 6th level slot. I touch both Justine and Bridget on the shoulder, and I give us all fly.
Ooh.
I'm like, let's get out of here. Fly.
Fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools.
Fly.
An excellent idea. You fly back across the desert, and after a while, you pick up the trail of some camel footprints, and you follow those as you fly away from the city. Eventually, you come across some wandering nomads who kind of allow you to rest and sort of help you get back to the society. As you're making your way across the desert, the dracolich Zizi digs its way out. Because it's a blue dragon, it has a burrow speed, so it was able to get around your wall of force. But it takes some time. And as you fly away over the dunes, it bursts out of the city, looking around, trying to find you, but flies off in the wrong direction and doesn't catch you.
Yay!
Probably not good that that's out.
Yeah, but it's probably just going to come after you alone and kind of hunt you down and kill you.
We're luring it away to like civilized society and towards Candlekeep and the rest of the Sword Coast.
Gosh.
I'm sure it's all fine. But you don't worry about that because you've found some lovely herdsmen who, like I said, take you back to somewhere near civilization, and you find yourselves at a bazaar on the borders of the Anarok Desert, smoking hookahs and drinking fresh cold water, and kind of regaling yourselves with the tale of your adventures and feeling very much relieved that you've gotten away safely.
We walked away with nothing, and we have a dragon lich swearing vengeance upon us. So I feel like that was a good adventure.
I mean, Justine, I think it's fair to say that you have earned a fan. Somebody's definitely going to be after you, wanting to find out more.
I have a fan who's out to kill me. Wow.
That's how you know you made it, Justine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And that's the problem with one-shots. There's no gear.
Do we all level up?
We all level up.
We'll get murdered by this dragon lich.
You all
What
level
was
up
in the
in your
Nether
hearts.
scroll? I wonder.
Well, you'll never know. Oh well, okay. So thank you very much. That is the conclusion of our adventure. You have survived, and you have helped a golem on finish its quest and finish its own story. 1,000 years in the making.
That's
So
its own
you can
reward.
feel good about that. There's a bit here in the postscript about if the dragon gets hold of the Nether Scroll. The Dracolich's mastery of magic and her evil spirit enable her to access darker aspects of the Nether Scroll of Azumar, turning the sky over Anarok black and ushering in a reign of terror and darkness over the desert. She rules the southern part of Anarok from her lair with cruelty and malice. Her presence prevents caravans from crossing the desert, and she enslaves local tribes and turns them into undead thralls to serve her whims.
Wow.
So, could have been worse.
Bullet
Yeah,
dodge.
that could be pretty bad.
Paladins, members of holy orders, and harpers from across Faerun respond to the disaster in a joint campaign to defeat the Dracolich and destroy the Nether Scroll of Azumir. So, you didn't do too badly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, congratulations. You did
That
good.
was, I think that was quite a good little module. I know, I mean, all of these are
fun.
written by professional writers and stuff for the Candlekeep, for the D&D team and stuff. But I think give a little more conundrum at the end, and also, did you add in the fresco involving us, or was that in the book?
No, that is in the book.
That's pretty good, because I was thinking, it's propaganda bullshit, and then that bit's like, oh, right, I get it, it's the truth, I get it. Like, that's
the thing.
good.
Like, I had to go back to it because there was a certain sense of urgency, given the way you dealt with the dragons. So
that's why, as a heads up, by the way, that's why I was so like, let's just turn invisible and start doing some teleporting, because I was aware that time was a concern, you know? Wicked.
Cool. So, I mean, that was really good. I mean, I was surprised that you did as well as you did against the dragon, using spells very intelligently to overcome the issue with the fact that you were only 3 of you. You don't have a healer in the party. You don't have a proper tank in the party. You know, and so as a composition, you did really work good at thinking on your feet. So,
what's the challenge rating of that dragon?
17.
17. So there should be a party of, is it 417?
Yeah. Or
I
4.
literally had
4
nothing
15s
left.
make for a good boss fight.
Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna firebolt it.
yeah, I had one fireball, and that was about it left.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, let's end it there then. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Ashlen and Toma and Rob. Thank you so much. Thank you, especially Rob, for running it.
Yeah,
as
thanks
well.
for
That was
running
really
it.
good.
That's okay, no problem.
Perfect timing too.
If people want to check out anybody's work and or stuff that they do, there'll be links in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're here on Twitch, I appreciate you all for being involved. We're going to throw a raid over to someone. Let's see who is online. Let's get in the clown car. Let's go and say hello to... Let's go and show some love to Kiara Elvenwood, who's paying some Warhammer. She is lovely, as is her other half, who they both make Warhammer content, do painting and stuff. So we'll keep it in the tabletop sphere now. Let's get in the clown car, everybody. Thank you all once again. Hopefully we can do this again sometime soon. You did catch the end, Neridian, but there will be a VOD on YouTube. And Aussie Brain Doc says masterful, Rob. There you go. That's nice, isn't it?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, there are plenty of adventures in here, and hopefully, if this goes down well and we can figure things out a bit tighter, we'll be able to do some more D&D content. Hopefully, maybe do a little campaign, do some little regular stuff. That would be really fun. So,
Cool.
Thanks very much, everybody. And if you did like it, do all the things to tell everybody that you liked it.
Tweet and like and comment and subscribe and all that jazz. Right. See you later, kids. Ta-ta for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool, and we are off.